Can you hear me now? How about now?
That was pretty great. That was pretty great.
It was. Oh man, you guys.
What you guys just missed was Emily coming in like, I just counted it down and went live for the first time. And then I congratulated her. I was like, yo, good job, bro. Good job.
Like,
and then immediately
no
look over
sound.
and see no audio.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's fine.
Perfect timing.
It wasn't my fault though, right? It wasn't my fault. Promise. I promise. Anyway, guys, it's Honesty Hour. I'm about to take off for the weekend, but I just wanted to send you into the, American holiday with a little love and affection from the Thumper community manager. I don't know why I'm being so weird right now. I'm sorry.
Unless you're Native American, then we're sorry.
Then we're really sorry, and there's some stuff, go read the internet right now and do some stuff, because there's a lot of shit going on, and, Thanksgiving week, it's a little ironic. Yeah.
I've never actually enjoyed celebrating Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm. My entire life, I've always felt weird about it. Because I remember when I was really young, we were in grade school, and I had a history teacher in grade school that actually, taught us about what really happened.
What really happened?
Because he was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
I'm glad, because he taught me a lot of stuff that I was like, whoa, history is weird. No one else tells us about these things.
Honestly, I grew up knowing what happened, but I kind of took it as okay.
We can still be thankful.
We can still be thankful for some things.
We can still be thankful.
We can be really guilty and take action on other things.
I mean,
So, yeah.
it's all just another defining characteristic of white guilt that I live with every day.
America.
Better to be in that boat right now than the opposite boat that's going on.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, tomorrow I'm gonna be tweeting from HyperRPG with #ThumperThanks, just to share the things that we're thankful for. And I have a long list. It's at 10
Really?
right now. I do.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's at 10 right now. But I would love to hear the things that you guys are thankful for. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, but let's find some little beacons of light.
I'm frustrated at whoever set up our tablet with our chat room last, because it's on Internet Explorer instead of Chrome, so we can't go full screen with it, which cuts off the text on the right side. No, you keep talking. I'm just bossing through it and make a note. I'm gonna go make a note and put it on somebody's desk.
I love that passive-aggressive thing that you're doing right now.
No, it's pretty aggressive.
It's just aggressive. It's just aggressive. Anyway, so yeah, I'm thankful for you guys. I know I say it all the time, and it probably sounds like I'm just saying it because I'm the community manager, but I have never really been part of an internet community like this before. So I'm very thankful to be part of the Thumpers, and you guys are great. So, Ryan, you're not Ryan. I'm thankful for Ryan.
Boom! Look how much better that looks! Ah,
so
man!
Are you thankful for anything?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm alive.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what?
I'm alive. I have a pretty good dog.
He's alright.
He's alright.
He's really cute.
I have a girlfriend that should have dumped me a long time ago.
It's gonna be self-aware.
Oh no, it's good to be ready. It's good to be prepared.
Oh.
It's good to be prepared, so whenever that day comes where she wakes up and she's like, whoa, I could do way better, I'll be like, you're right.
You're right.
You're right though. Thank you for humoring me for this long. I appreciate it.
Yep.
It's good to be aware.
So tomorrow, use #ThumperThanks. I want to hear what you guys are thankful for. Tweet it at HyperRPG, tweet it at the hosts that you love, tweet it at this loser.
I'll be here at some point tomorrow.
Hang out with him.
I did get invited to a thing.
You did.
I just don't know if I'm gonna go.
It's okay. You can, weigh the options.
I already told everyone I was gonna stream.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So.
We'll see.
Alright, dog.
I'm gonna stream.
I'll
Just
be in the booth
question
for
how
a
long.
little bit.
Oh yeah?
I'll run the booth for a minute.
What's
Kidding.
to run?
I don't know.
Just go home. Enjoy your family time.
I will, probably. Luckily, I like them. Mostly.
Well,
Think it's super hard, yeah. Think think positive thoughts.
Zach, here I got a problem because I think Malika actually loves you and that isn't going to happen. I mean, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, dude.
It's a pretty good problem to have. I'm okay with that problem. I just do think one day she's gonna become disillusioned and be kind of like, whoa, what was I thinking? So, I'm gonna enjoy it while I can until that day comes.
Yeah, but what is Zargaras eating? I would really love to know.
What's what? Zargaras?
What's Zargaras eating right now? He always comes in during Honesty Hour and tells you what he's eating.
Well, I mean, you know, time will tell.
Time will tell.
He'll probably show up in a little bit.
True. So true.
Okay, well, I guess we'll start answering questions.
Alright.
And, you know, we'll make a thing out of this. It's, gonna be Honesty Hour.
There are questions
It's
in
a
the
weird
Honesty
week.
Hour Discord.
Okay, well, we'll get through that.
Yep.
It's kind of a weird week, though, because it's a short week.
It is.
I'll be streaming...
Thank you for the resub, Builderus.
You know, I'll be streaming on, tomorrow. Maybe a little Friday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here working with Andrew from Nerd Fusion to build the studio on Friday to get it ready for Saturday, and then Saturday Nerd Fusion's gonna be doing a 12-hour long D&D stream out of here that I'll be running the board for and producing.
This
so
question from Mayhem Toolkit is killing me right now. I think it's so funny.
What's that?
I don't want her to be, but is Emily ever in a bad mood? Like ever? She always seems so happy.
Oh man.
Kinda awesome.
I love that you cannot see her behind camera.
I'm always in a good mood.
So here's the thing. I'm always the angriest on camera. And I can be kind of a grump behind camera too. I'll admit that. Usually I'm just tired. Emily and Rai Rai have a darkness inside them.
It's okay,
I pretend to have a darkness inside me on camera, but in general, I'm pretty level-headed for the most part, and I'm actually extremely forgiving of people and probably make too many excuses for people's faults for the most part. I feel like Emily and Rai Rai are the opposite, where they're extremely jovial, but then they say things sometimes, I'm like, whoa, fuck, you gangsta. Like, you guys are gonna straight up murder somebody one day. Like, no joke.
Space Cat confirms.
Yeah, scariest one in the studio for sure. Isn't that how it usually goes though? It's like the, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Hunster.
You know what? I'm lightness and sunshine, and that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
All right. Thank you, Emily. Have a good Thanksgiving. Yeah, you know, if you do, if you leave, make sure to tell your family I said happy Thanksgiving and sorry that I can't make it to their craft day on Saturday. I got that invitation. I was like, ooh, this sounds cool. Yeah, and then I saw the time. I was like, damn it.
My mom was like, do you know that Zach will come? And I was like, no, but that's so sweet that you're inviting him.
I would have come.
You're welcome to.
I wouldn't have talked to anyone though. I would have.
You're still welcome to.
I know, I'm working. Okay. Alright guys, let's talk. It's just gonna be me and you all. We're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about the channel. Well, you know what? We'll talk about Thanksgiving too. I know. Oh shit.
You ask and you shall receive. I have a nice bowl of noodles, extra large with not 1 egg but 3 eggs. 'Cause that's how I roll.
I want that bowl of noodles though. I want that bowl of noodles. I really do. So, let's have a conversation. We're gonna talk about the channel. We'll talk about stuff. I think we should also talk about Thanksgiving. Like, we could start sharing some stories of our experiences with Thanksgiving family get-togethers and how they change over time. I don't know though.
I can't afford any TA eater points, but here's a Finsky for Zach.
Thank you, Mal. I appreciate that. They are making me thirsty. That's why I got this water here. I thought I had a 3-egg life, those are rats. But I think Thanksgiving's really interesting because I feel like it changes a lot as we age with our perceptions of it. And then I think as some people then get kids, it kind of like comes back around to this interesting place. But I'm trying to think if there was ever a time in my entire life that I was really excited by Thanksgiving. Honestly. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, it was always really weird. I loved pumpkin pie when I was growing up, so I got really excited by pumpkin pie. And before my grandma died of lung cancer, I was really like, I loved going to my grandma's house. But that was really young. But I never really got along too well with my extended family, and it was always really uncomfortable. I was always the oddball. I never liked sports, and it always became just like going out to the Boot Hill of Missouri. A bunch of, you know, rednecks, to put it, you know, in the correct way, drinking beer and making a turkey while everyone else is watching football, and, you know, very traditional, you know, American value kind of thing of like, women are doing this in the kitchen, men are out in the garage drinking beer and frying a turkey, and me as the artsy kind of awkward kid, kind of not really fitting in anywhere, and it was always really uncomfortable, even at a young age. And especially when I went to college and would come back, it got even more and more uncomfortable. I remember my second year of college, I drove out there. It was like a 5-hour drive. I drove out with an entire computer tower and CRT monitor and everything. And at the time I was running Linux, and I was setting some stuff up in Linux on the computer throughout the entire Thanksgiving meal, but I set it up on the floor because they didn't have a place for me to set up. That's like how bad I wanted to disconnect to the awkwardness that was everywhere else. So I was the weird one in the corner with the full computer tower and the CRT monitor on top and the keyboard sitting on the floor cross-legged like, don't bother me. I'm doing my thing. What do your uncles smoke the most? It was always one of the uncles or that one aunt, right? Right? Yeah. And then I just kind of stopped going. Sometimes I would spend like Thanksgivings with, you know, like significant others at the time. Dude, there were some weird ones. I wonder if I could tell you about Becca Scott family Thanksgiving get-togethers, or I don't think she'd be upset that I told you about them. They're weird. Really nice people. Extremely nice people. But some of the funniest shit I've ever seen at Thanksgiving get-together in my entire life. Let me throw this out there a little bit. I'll share this one little part that freaked me out a little bit. One of her Republican cousins wanted to prove that waterboarding wasn't a big deal, so at this Thanksgiving get-together where her entire family rents out an entire resort on an island, in front of a group of about 50 people, his girlfriend, who had not met any of the family yet, was asked to waterboard him in front of everyone so he could prove that it wasn't a big deal, and immediately started choking and stopped. And that's just one part of that whole thing. I'll just leave it at that, and we'll move on to a whole nother discussion. But me, oh, this family's crazy. Weird stuff. You guys should just ask her about it. Good times. So let's get into some questions, and we'll talk more about Thanksgiving and families and family stories and all that stuff as we go. And all makes sense. That's not even the weirdest. That is not. They had a family talent show. I could go deep into that, but you should just ask her. You should just ask her, because that shit is fucking weird. Okay. Let's get into some questions. Pulling up Discord now. Sorry, guys. But how y'all doing? Are you, how many of you what are you guys doing? I guess is the question. Like, how many of you are currently talking to us from somewhere else? If you're an American viewer, like, did you travel to another family member's place? Like, you know, Mal said he's talking to us from a hotel room. Like, how many of you are tuning in tonight from not your usual place? And how many of you are like the centerpiece where all the other family comes to you, and you're currently sitting here watching me talk to you at a computer screen while the rest of your family is like, what the fuck are you doing? You are so weird. Why aren't you talking to the rest of your family? Yeah, we don't even know what turkeys are. Hosting it the first time, says a Blue Jay. Nice.
Thanksgiving. Family remembers that I always brought Excedrin with me to our reunions. Thanksgiving, etc. in Michigan, we have a bunch of loud ones. #Horizon.
Alright. Okay, I'm backing up a little bit to see the stuff that I missed. Okay. I guess I'm going to start with a question that came in on November 18th. Thank you, Rules the Rules, for that resub for 8 months. Very much appreciated. Thank you for that. I used to hate having to watch football at Thanksgiving. I fucking hated it. I would just try to force myself to take a nap. I was like, man, maybe if I eat enough turkey, I'll actually fall asleep at 3 in the afternoon, just so I don't have to pretend to enjoy watching football at all. I would never pretend. It was just the only thing we were allowed to watch with the extended family. So it was like, I'm just gonna sit here and close my eyes until something changes. It's pretty much what happened every year. I was like, oh, we're leaving? Oh God, great. Okay. Love Catcher wants to know, which Star Wars game are we going to play? We were thinking Edge of the Empire, I think is what it's called. It's the Fantasy Flight game. And then he asked, have you thought about having a show with both sites involved? Or it's like there's one cam in Seattle, another cam in LA. No, really haven't. I think that's too much work and it would kill the flow and it would kill the energy. Because anytime those kinds of delays are involved, it creates an interesting dilemma, and you're gonna get a percentage less of what it could be just because you're doing that. Okay. Krellin says, I know DFA is the best performing show it was during the regular one. How much of that better performance is because of the pre-purchasables? Are there any thoughts on ways to bring in similar non-live ways to support and interact with the other RPGs? The pre-purchasables are a little bit of that success, but not the majority. Not the majority at all. But they're a little bit, and they are good. They are good. But it's really hard to incorporate it in some of the other shows, but we have plans in the future to include things like that with some of the newer shows that we can build those things in a little bit easier. Let's see, DJ Chisley, catching up on the latest HH. So much fantastic news. You're damn right. We need to do a better Thumper and try to make more time to get into the live shows, but adulting sucks. Oh, don't worry about it. Yes, lots of exciting news. So last weekend, I was in LA. I flew down Friday afternoon, and then I kind of took a 3 a.m. flight back to Seattle on Monday. Lucas and I spent a good 12 to 14 hours looking at places all day Saturday and Sunday. Malika flew down to LA yesterday, and her and Lucas looked at places all day today. It's tough going. We're in an interesting position. Like, here, let me just share some of my troubles with you guys, because that's what this show is for, and you can get a better understanding of all the bullshit stress we encounter. It's a weird thing, because we're trying to rent a house instead of a studio. So we're having to go through realtors, which have different requirements than some commercial spaces you might go through. But a lot of the commercial spaces we looked at in LA don't really work for what we want to do, or they're just crazy fucking expensive. And we don't want to be in a situation like this again, where we have people on both sides banging on walls and all that kind of shit, and making it really hard for us to do our jobs except for late at night, because we want to, we want to be able to broaden things up, and it's like we literally can't do shows in the afternoon, and if we do, we have to tell people to constantly be quiet. Like, it sucks. So we don't want to be in that position again, so we don't want to take like a cheap office complex. We're trying to find either a studio or a house, and most likely it's going to be a house that we can set up and build out to be kind of like a streamer house. Now, I don't pay myself enough as the CEO to rent these houses and to be on the lease. And because it would only be me living there and possibly one other person, us combined don't make enough money to rent this place to run the studio out. So I'm trying to rent it as the company. And they just keep this circle going, this constant circle of like, yeah, but I need your pay stubs. I'm like, no, but the company's paying for it. Here's the company's pay stubs. And it's just been a real fucking nightmare. People don't seem to understand, and they just want to see my pay stubs. I'm like, no, I don't make shit, but the company is paying for it. So it's been frustrating, but we're working on it, and we've hired a broker to kind of handle that stuff for us. And it's stressful. Oh, I just lost camera. The joy of being here alone. I'm gonna fix it really quick. I know what happened. Yep. This plug-in is broken. I just had a call with Black Magic today, and I didn't realize that this was a problem that should have been addressed to me. And I noticed it later on in the day, and I'm guessing this has been a problem for a while because it's taped. Switching plugs probably works now. Yeah, it's gonna work. Let me readjust the focus. Alright, sorry about that. Camera died. Okay. So, done. I'm not gonna film in your garage, Nick Fit. But it's been stressful, and we're working on it. They looked at some cool places today. We've been dealing a lot with just getting the paperwork the way that the brokers want it, which has been really tough. And it's just like, it's like that age-old thing of like, we try to save money everywhere we can. I'm extremely thrifty and conscious of not spending money. Which means I end up taking on extra work for myself, where I should just hire other people to do things in these situations so it gets done quicker and better. But I don't want to do that, so I just try to take it on myself or ask other people to help. So, yeah. So we're working on it, but we've looked at some really amazing places that would open us up to do some really cool stuff, and we're hoping by early next week to know something. I wish I could tell everybody more. Like, there's so many moving pieces that we're trying to get together. So many things. Yeah, we've made sure that a dog's allowed in the lease this time rather than just taking a broker's word for it. We want it in writing. But I feel like I wish I could tell you guys a lot more, but I don't want to and then have you freak out when it doesn't happen. So we've got a lot of things in limbo right now, and hopefully soon I'll have updates for everybody. Hopefully really soon. Whew. Okay. Tahoods wants to know what it's like to have corrupted both Rai and Claudia to the path of darkness. Like I said, there's a darkness inside both of them. They're just becoming comfortable enough to show it on camera. We've seen a lot of properties that look really promising, Genova Plus. It's convincing the people who would rent to us that they should, which has been really tough. We have the money. I've been trying to literally just fucking hand people money. Be like, here's a deposit. You know, you guys helped us raise that money, you know, and be like, here's a deposit. We're ready to put it down. Let's do this. But they're like, oh, okay, well, you have a lot of student loans. And I'm like, yeah, that has nothing to do with the company. You don't make any money. Yeah, that has nothing to do with the company. The company's paying for it. Here, like, it's frustrating. Zach, who do I contact to sue you for my nausea? Asked Krellin. Sorry, bro. Gaia, Zach, what are you thankful for today? Like I said, I'm thankful that I'm alive, that I have Malika and Kaiju in my life, which I might have to cut Honesty Hour a little short tonight because Malika is out of town, which means I need to go take care of Kaiju, and it's been a while since he's gone out, so gotta take care of the puppy, guys. So serious question. How have you planned for the holiday shopping impacting donation levels? Well, we're looking at November and December to be at a loss, to Hoods, to be totally honest. We're not gonna make money this month. I don't think that's possible. You know, when so few people are the people that are actually making this happen, we know that stuff's gonna like get in the way. We know that. So we kind of know that this month and next month are gonna be a loss. We're kind of mentally trying to prepare for that. And honestly, we've been kind of preparing for it in the back end for a while. You notice that we have a lot of shows that are hosted by people who work here now because it saves us money. And money's tight, so we're trying to figure that out. Trying to look. I'm trying to read the chat too and answer your questions. Let's see. Yeah, November and December will always be rough. Always. It doesn't matter. Unless we are selling actual gifts to people that they wanted. November and December are always rough. But we're trying to like plan stuff that help keep that from happening, like working with Nerd Fusion this month. Hopefully we'll try to work with Amazon next month. Those will hopefully help balance out the month a little bit. Not so serious question. What do you think about Emily calling for a Hyper RPG drag show? That'd be fun. Guys, I've been drag on Twitch many times before. If it brings in tips, I'm down. Thanks for coming by, Kaku. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, Flying Koopa kind of can't say anything about Amazon. There's a lot of things, like so much of the stuff I want to tell you guys is always NDA'd and I can't say anything. Okay. BP Phantom wants to know, how are the donation financials looking in general? Well, let's put it this way. Last month was the lowest month we've had since the channel started. And if it wasn't for that donation drive we did at the end, we would have totally been in a loss. This month is even lower than last month, and we're projecting December to be even lower than that. So 3 months of a downward slope. Now, we have plans to start bringing that back up. That's kind of what this whole 2017 expansion pack is all about, because we know there's a lot of things missing right now, and we have a plan. It just, plans take time to enact, and it's gonna be probably January until we can put that plan into motion and start turning these things around. It's just the way it is. We're like the Cylons? What does that mean?
We're like the Cylons. They have a plan.
We have a plan? We're like the Cylons?
Plan.
The hardest thing seems to be getting people to resub with their Prime accounts. That's true. That's true. It's really hard in my head. The biggest problem there is that lets me know there were a lot of people that came over last month when GNS was hosting us there for a little bit. They were asked to stop doing that, understandably. And a lot of those people don't go out of their way to find us. They just happened upon us, liked it, but they don't go out of their way to find us and never came back. And we were able to kind of track that. Like, most didn't ever come back. So, you know, it happens. Thankful that it happened when it did, because it was a nice little bump in revenue. Have you looked at Casper CG as a graphics option to try and separate CG and streaming? I'm confused by what you mean by that, Lumiere. What CG are you talking about? I'm confused. Troopers JP says, I enjoyed the first episode of Open Legend RPG. Was it successful for Hyper RPG? Yes, it was. It was good. You know, the great thing about that show, just to be totally upfront with you guys, yeah, we have lost a lot of front page support. We haven't had front page support in a long time. So, are you trying to give me more light? Is that what you're...
Super dark.
Oh, I'm super dark?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can turn that on.
I was just trying to figure out how to flip it.
If you turn that on at full from right there, it'll bounce enough my way, for sure. So the great thing about the Open Legend RPG, you definitely gotta turn it up though. Oh, you're too short. I wish you guys could see the look on her face. It was a mix of sadness and I will fucking murder you. Yeah, that helps. So, getting back to the point, the great thing about the Open Legend RPG is it was a Kickstarter goal, which means Open Legend is paying for the content. So we don't lose money on that show. We're paying the talent and we're getting paid for our production time. So even if the show doesn't bring in tips or subs, we hope it does eventually. We hope people tuning in that show like what we do and stick around. But it's paid for, so it's not at a loss. Now, ultimately, we don't want things to just break even. We want things to grow. We want things to bring in new people, and we want to like get people excited about our channel. So hopefully, by the end of that show, we've converted some people over to really like the content that we're doing, and they'll enjoy it. So Star Maker will not be returning, guys. Star Maker's not gonna be on the channel anymore. That was decided a while back. Flying Koopa says, I really loved Open Legend last week. Made me back it on Kickstarter. Awesome, that's good to hear. Any chance to become a long-term show or a reoccurring miniseries? So, if Open Legend works really well by the end of it, I would love to give Bronze a full-time GM spot on the channel. I think Bronze is an awesome GM. She's killing it. I think she's like really good at it, and I would love to give her that show as a full-time show, but do it in a studio instead of Skype, so it's a little more comfortable and a little more natural. Zach, if you could have one thing in life besides financial stability for Hyper Rabbit Power Go, what would it be? I'd love for my student loans to just disappear, Simtier. Especially after this last week. It's been a nightmare. Sorry, I'm reading Lumire's comment as he typed it. Yeah, I'd love for my student loans to disappear. It's been a fucking nightmare. So here's what happened with my shit. So in 2008, when the financial crisis hit, the bank that most of my loans came through, they don't allow colleges to do this shit anymore. But when I was getting my master's degree, it was a bank directly through the college that had a special loan program set up, and that bank sold all my loans when the financial crisis hit. Just fucking sold them, and to a lot of really fucked up collection agencies. So there are currently 30, it got divided into 30 different loans all over the place that went through one college for a course of 4 years. It got divided into 30, spread out all over the fucking place. And it's so bad that when I tried going through that new program that Obama put out to like consolidate them, bring them into one place, get back on track, all that kind of stuff, they couldn't, because they couldn't get to them either. And it's just like a totally fucked thing. And how much is left on those, Zach? 120 now, because of the interest that keeps going up. Because I can't even pay them, because so many of these places are so fucking corrupt and so messed up that they'll send me these letters and I'll try to go through and pay them and stuff, and you can't find them. Like, I'll Google them and people will immediately be like, don't pay them. And I'm like, well, then what the fuck do I do? This is constantly dragging my credit down, but they'll ask me for my routing number and no other option. I'll try to send them a check, I'll try to send them a money order, try to do anything like that. They won't take it. They will only accept routing number because they don't even have a fucking address on file and you can't look them up. So it's been a nightmare. An absolute nightmare for years, to the point that I've just tried saying fuck it. It's gotten so bad, and I spent so much time trying to figure out what to do, that I just gave up, and I've just let it sit there, which doesn't affect me in the day-to-day because it's divided out into 30 different ones, so I don't think anyone's gonna sue me for a $1,500 loan, but it's spread out all over the fucking place. And there are all these different weird collection agencies, and it affects me greatly when I try to do things in my life, like sign up for shit or get forward. Never been late on a fucking rent check in my entire life. All my other bills are auto pay and have been for years, but I know my credit's kind of bad because I won't get a credit card, and I probably should, just so I can try to have something to prove that I have credit. But it's just those student loans, man. They give me nightmares. That give me actual nightmares. Maybe try setting up a secret bank account, fill that with the amount you want to pay at one time, and give them that routing number. That's not a bad idea, Exodus Eagle. It's one of those things too that I get really worried about. I get really worried about it because I read all these horror stories online from other people who've dealt with these collection agencies, and if they're only taking that routing number, and I can't find an address for them, you know what I mean? And I can't talk to like a real person more than once, and they won't give me their fucking name or let me talk to their supervisor. My concern is I throw someone $3,000, I have no proof. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't have a receipt. I don't have like actual proof of that transaction or whatever agreement that was come to, and they could just say, oh, you still owe this much. You know, like that's like the shit that just, it's really sketchy. Yeah, money stresses me the fuck out. It really does. Me too. Lemire says, so all the overlays and animations you are running to take the load off Game Show, ABS, XSplit, whatever you want to use. So the reason we don't do that, Lemire, to like take it somewhere else, like we could run a couple through Blackmagic, and sometimes I do, but the way we build out our overlay system, there's so many layers, I can't like put a stream out and then put something on top of it. It has to be layered in. So we have to actually do it through that system. Sue them. How is that even allowed by law, says Grasnick. Welcome to the student loan problem in our country. I am not the only person going through this. A lot of people are. And that's why you'll hear that it's a real problem in our country that's heavily affecting the current economic state, because tons of people from my generation that went to school in those years and got slammed with these interest rates and corrupt kind of banks that then defaulted and sold the loans out to collection agencies so they didn't get any penalty whatsoever. Which is the same thing that kind of happened in the mortgage crisis with the bailout. Like, it's a fucked up thing. And then when you try to talk to people about it, a lot of people think that like, oh, that's because they're lazy and they don't want to pay it. And that's the thing that really pisses me off, is that that's the common thing that's said by people when it's talked about in the media, and when they're against it, it's like, oh, this is just that generation whatever is lazy and doesn't want to work to pay it off. It's like, yo, fuck you. I work 16 to 20 hour days and have for 2 years straight and can count on two hands how many days I've taken off in 2 years, and I still can't pay that shit. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. So, but I could go on and on how corrupt I think our current, especially after being a teacher. Like, I taught at a college level. I taught at a college level, and I got upset even by teaching there because I was currently going through my master's degree and seeing how I was an adjunct professor. So I got paid like minimum wage, and I drove an hour and a half to get to the school that I was teaching at, to that college. So that college was having a hard time because, you know, whatever government subsidies and stuff like that weren't coming in for the school the way they wanted it to. Tuition's already really high and is going up every year, but you paid the same amount for me to teach you a class as you do a tenure employee of that college. And I got upset for the people taking my class because I was like, yo, I'm inexperienced as fuck. I'm an adjunct professor. I don't get paid shit. I'm not as invested in this as someone whose entire livelihood is teaching you these things and has been for 20 years. Why are you paying the same amount to take a class I'm teaching as a noob as you are for someone who's highly skilled? And then you start looking around and you're like, oh shit, half of these classes are taught by adjunct professors. So that's just being done so the college can make a lot more profit. So it's a fucked up thing. It's a fucked up thing. There's a lot of really fucked up things. I think there's a lot of people who teach at the college level who have their heart in absolutely the right place and that want to make a big difference. And I learned a lot. But at the same time, I feel like our educational system, our for-profit educational system, is just so screwed. It's so messed up. It's so messed up. It's really weird. Yeah, and it's a weird thing too because college has gotten so high. It's hard for people of this generation to explain to their parents, especially my generation. I think now we're getting a little bit closer to a generation that went through it that understands. But you know, like when my parents went to college, college was meant to be cheap enough for people to come out of it ahead. And they didn't understand. So they just kept pushing this like, you go to college, you get your degree. That's what you do if you want to be successful in America. This is how you have to live your life. This is how you succeed. Not realizing how fucked up it had become, how expensive it had become, and how you can't promise anyone a job. You can't actually, in this market, promise those things. What's up? You just stepped on a USB thing. It's cool. Whatever. It already doesn't work.
Just coming to say goodbye. Bye, Thumpers.
Have a good Thanksgiving, Emily.
You too, dude.
Yeah, you know, I'll be here. It'll be fun. Ligot says, I didn't get a chance to watch Open Legend live last week. Is there a donation boon, like with Corp Sin, bonus dice, or DFA's special abilities? We had one, right? We just didn't really push it? No, we just had the subscriber thing.
No, I'm just trying to get close.
Yeah, every 5 subscribers, we do a chaos die. So that's what we're doing on Open Legend, because we want to push subscribers to do the chaos die kind of thing. That's all the questions that we actually have that's in Discord right now. Oh, cool. So, MXM just sent us some alpha codes to give away, so we'll be adding those to our Steam code giveaways. That's cool. So thank you, Sean, for sending those along. That's pretty rad. Thank you for that. All right. So, let's get into some other questions then. We'll talk to the chat for a little bit. Boom. Debt seems to be one of the few civil liberties left. Oh man. Are you guys ready for snow? I hate snow. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Yes, Erica does do voices in MXM. It's pretty awesome. So, let's see. Doc stories are a riot. I don't even know what to share, man. There's just so many. It was a weird time in my life. Jeremy Pinkham says, how long are you gonna stay in LA? Well, to be totally honest with you guys, what's probably gonna happen is I'm probably gonna move down there, and Malika too, and then I'll be commuting back up here quite a bit. So that's probably what's gonna happen. Which was always kind of the plan. We just thought it was gonna be 2 years, like 2 years away. But we kind of have to act faster now. Like we're in a position where we just we gotta move. We gotta move. And I can't handle the cold. No, my body can't handle it either. Like holy shit, my body locks up. Locks up a lot. How are things in the states that don't include debt? What do you mean the states that don't include debt? What do you mean by that? All states include debt. Not moving back and forth, Captain Talon. It's more like I'll be setting up home base there for myself and Malika, and then commuting up here to make sure the shows are running the way they're supposed to be running. So like I said, we're gonna have 2 separate studios, and that's gonna be challenging, but we kind of have to do it. We just got to. I love the shows that we have up here, and I'm really proud of them.
but we got to collaborate with stuff in LA to get further reach and further exposure. I think it actually puts us in a super awesome position, honestly, because what we've been able to create in Seattle that we didn't have in Los Angeles is amazing business contacts too. We've been working with some awesome companies up here. Yes, becoming more of a CEO and less of a showrunner. Correct, Drek Fletch. And that's kind of why we're bringing Lucas on board too, as Lucas is going to be operating a lot more. Him and Rai are going to be splitting a lot of those responsibilities as like producers, and I've got to focus more on the big picture a lot more. Which I've been doing a lot, and honestly, I feel like you can see it. Like, I feel like it's obvious that my attention has been all over the place the last couple months. And I don't like that, and that's why I kind of really need Lucas on board to kind of make sure that stuff's there. You know, it's like we've overloaded Rai to no end. Like, just to no end. Oh, thank you, Nathan Britsanen, for that follow. We've overloaded Rai, and it's hard for him sometimes to step back, and it gives Lucas a good opportunity to step back. Yes, Genova Plus, I probably will be living in the house, so it's easy for me to be involved. Lorvo says the downtime advert screen can be improved. There's always ways to improve. I mean, we're going to be changing a lot, like in January. Lots of new graphics, lots of updated things, more like intros, things like that. I agree with you. I think a timer and things like that would be good. We have plans, Nova Plus, and I'll be updating on you guys when I can on that stuff. No, Silly Sunny. Lucas will be down there too. Like I said, you guys just gotta, when I can tell you everything, I will. So, I think some people may tune in though and then turn off as it's on the ad screen. Not sure. Lorvos, probably a lot of people do, but it's better that than us just being offline. And we actually have the numbers to support that. Like, now I do think a timer is not a bad idea, and I used to do that, but it's better for us to at least be up with something when we're having to fix everything and move around. Zach, how do you feel off the trails? I like the show, but can't catch it live. It looks not much budget is needed to keep it going, but those two are a blast to watch, my honest opinion. It's actually kind of, I mean, honestly, it does cost more than we make off of it. It is a show that costs us $100 a week for talent, and then more for production. Usually we're buying games and stuff too. And it's not really making much, but it is fun. Those guys are great, and they're really fun. I love having those two around. They bring a really good energy, a much needed energy to the channel. Do you think living at the Hyper House will be unhealthy? I already do that, Genova Plus. Like, already. I don't know if you guys know that, but yeah. Yes, and that is something we're planning on doing, Alien Knitter, with the ability to go up and down between two different studios, to where it's like one studio's ready to go, and we just go down and then right back up at the other studio. Gives us a really good opportunity to not have these weird in-between moments. It allows us just kind of go boom boom with proper coordination, because it's two separate places, which is really nice. How large of a base do we need? I think it's got to be many multiples of what we currently have. Oh yeah, Tahoods. Many. We need a lot more viewers. We just do. We need a lot more people tuning in. And we know that the people who do tune in love it. We have a lot of big fans. You guys are like super fans. So we know there's more people out there that just don't know about us, you know, and we'd love to welcome them in. Yeah, Megalo Blazemon, that's kind of what I think. Honestly. Honestly, it's just, it's already that way, and it's also something that saves the company money. Like, no joke. If we team up in that way, where I'm paying part of the rent and the company's paying part of the rent, it saves money, and I'm all about saving money right now. No, Phantom Mr. Fox is too far away from talent. Zach, do you have any advice on learning to draw? My uni doesn't have any kind of art classes. Which was one of my first thoughts, says Annenberg. I mean, the internet, Annenberg. Like, you can just watch tutorials, YouTube. The internet is the most valuable fucking resource for education. It's insane. You shouldn't have to pay for shit. Like, I almost tell people, like, why would you go to college now? There's just, you can find everything out for fucking free. Just hop on YouTube and someone's gonna teach you how to do something. They're gonna share their knowledge with you. It's amazing. Okay, somebody said something. I missed your thing about AMD. Repeat it, because I think I kind of see what you're trying to say, and I can argue against that. Hope this weekend is a huge success. You got a little viewers from Nerd Fusion. They have a good time with lots of RP watchers like it's made. I don't think it's going to lead to many viewers, honestly. It's a paid gig, so we're doing it. It's going to be produced by us, but it's not on our channel. It's on Nerd Fusion's channel, so I don't really see it bring anything over. No, I think Lorvos, you're right. Like, a timer's good. And there's things we can do. It's just time. It's just time and energy. We try to, like, right now it's all about, like, what we have time to fix, what we have time to work on, because everyone's overworked. You're doing some Skynet Hyper RPG, has roughly half the followers of AMD, so I'd say you're on the right track. I just wish it was easier for you. AMD is a big brand name, so yeah. So that's actually some tier that's a lot different. A lot of companies, like AMD, don't necessarily have a lot of followers on social media and stuff like that, because they don't need to. They're a brand that's in stores. They run commercials, they run ads. That's their form of outreach. Now, other companies that are social outreach companies might have more, and that's different. So it's like a totally different world. I wouldn't put us in the same boat as something like AMD, because they're not trying to get Twitter followers. They're trying to sell product, and they do that really well. We're not even close to the same boat. Sweet. Tiger Rider, I saw your message. Thank you for that. You have friends who are annoyed with the YouTube playlist, especially when it comes to start watching DFA from the beginning. Okay, so you're saying like the YouTube playlist because it's like... oh hey! Oh hi! Oh hi! Oh hi! Oh hi! Oh hi! Oh hi, oh hi, oh hi, hey, what's up? Guys, we're getting raided by Tiger Rider right now. Oh, shit. Okay, oh hi, oh hi, oh hi, oh hi, oh hi, oh hi. I actually really like that you just say oh hi. That's actually pretty fucking amazing. Oh hi, 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 oh hi. So defend, you assholes. Where's my chat representing? Defend, you pricks. Come on. We didn't give you those Nerf guns for nothing. Thank you, Tiger Rider, and thank you all of Tiger Rider's fans for coming over. Oh hi, oh hi, oh hi, oh hi, oh hi, oh hi. I love how unorganized it is with all the different ways to say oh hi. That's amazing. Oh hi, Mark. This is America. Oh hi, Tiger Rider. Thank you for raiding the channel. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for that raid, Tiger Rider. Guys, you should definitely, somebody put in the chat room a link back to Tiger Rider's channel. Awesome streamer that you guys should definitely check out. He's come by here a couple times. Really amazing dude. Yeah, I told you guys to defend, and instead I just see you guys just not really defending. So thank you to all the people, and thank you for following Man-Made Platypus. Man-Made Platypus, that's amazing. What does a man-made platypus look like? I'm very curious. Oh, hi, Zach. Thank you, Boltstar. Oh, hi, Zach. Thank you for that. Thanks for all the oh-hi's. Guys, that's awesome. Thank you for that. No, you're right. Sorry. Can't pronounce that. Thank you for the follow. So for all the people that are just tuning in, let me tell you what we're doing and why I'm sitting here looking like an idiot on this couch. This is Honesty Hour. Honesty Hour is a show that we do every Wednesday night where we have a super honest, deep discussion about the channel, about our finances. What's up, QSQ Gaming? Thank you for following. We update all the community members, but then we also share extremely deep and personal stories and get to know each other a lot. Like a lot. Brian CB, thank you for that follow. Thank you for that. We get pretty deep into, it's a super strong raid. It's super strong. Znored, thank you for that follow, very much appreciated. All the oh-hi's, oh-hi, oh-hi, oh-hi. What's up, Avuritas? Thank you for that follow. Very much appreciated. So, for those that don't know, Hyper RPG is a variety channel. We are a large production studio that's run by just a couple people. We have multi-camera switching, big RPGs, multi-production stuff. Zaki the Ninja, thank you for that follow. Sweet name. And I am the CEO of the company, the CEO of Hyper RPG. Basil Elf, thank you for that follow. I built this company with Jordan Weissman, the creator of Shadowrun and Battletech. I used to run and show ran Geek and Sundry, and this is my new channel. Crazy Ninja 777, thank you for that follow. And on Wednesday nights, we get to know each other a little bit better, hang out, talk, and talk about the channel and where the investment from our viewers is going and the updates to the channel and all that kind of stuff. Uber Goober! Uber Goober, thank you for that follow. I am the Bull 5, thank you for that follow, very much appreciated. Are we holding? Are you guys holding now? Are you guys holding? Is that what's happening? Sierra PDX, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So, welcome all these new followers. Welcome to the Thumper family. And you don't have to be a Thumper family. If you're a fan of Tiger Rider, thank you for tuning in, following, and thank you for that host, Tiger Rider. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love tight-knit communities. You guys definitely seem like a tight-knit community. That's awesome. Thank you, Evil Gizmo, for that follow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And how are you doing, Tiger Rider? Are you good? Injustice HQ, thank you for that. Are you doing well? Awesome. That's sweet, man. I hope you have some awesome Thanksgiving plans. I'm just gonna be chilling here at the studio tomorrow. I'm gonna be relaxing here, playing some games with the community, hanging out. N64 Girl, thank you for that follow. And for those that are new viewers, they may not know this, we dance when we get subscriptions. So it's a stupid gimmick, but it's a gimmick that works. And every 5 subscribers, we give away a Steam key. Chief Shedder, thank you for that follow. I know I missed 1 or 2, and I'm sorry, guys. The chat room will get you on those. Ska Coyote, thank you for that follow. That's awesome. We could do this all night. I'm cool with this. We could do this all night. We can just hang out. Hey up yours, Junior. Cool. Sweet name, bro. Thank you for that follow. Welcome to Hyper RPG. Hanging out. Hesty the Mage. Thank you for that follow. Can I do Tommy Wiseau all day tomorrow? Probably will. Fear This Blade 2, thank you for that follow. I think I'm going to be reading a script tomorrow. I'm going to look for one tonight. Thank you, Jay Walker, for that. And thank you, Varshal. What's up, Varshal? Borderline, thank you for that follow. I'm going to be probably doing a live reading tomorrow. Silent Rider with a Y, so it's cool. Thank you for that. I'm probably going to be doing a live reading tomorrow of a script in Tommy Wiseau's voice as the lead character by myself. That'll be interesting. I'll play all the characters, because why not? Surf Ninja script or Riot. You're right, Ricky. I'm going to do Surf Ninjas with Tommy Wiseau as every Surf Ninja. Black Soul Blizzard, thank you. Actually, it will be Tommy Wiseau playing different characters as Tommy Wiseau. That would be the fun one. But yeah, every 5 subscribers we give away a Steam key and all that good stuff. Hey, KB Tibbs!
Our raid defense commander was Tommy Wiseau. What were we supposed to do?
We were supposed to defend chat room. Come on. This is America. This ain't no Mickey Mouse bullshit, okay? Can you come by and be Rob Schneider? Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea. You demand Krun write the script all night, yeah. Ricky has to play Tum Tum. Yeah, Varshal, that the donation tune's really rad. That's somebody took our original one and turned it into an 8-bit one. It's pretty awesome. Do I have a favorite monster? Asked Severus. Chupacabra. Definitely. Can we get Tommy onto an RPG, Hyper RPG? I've been trying to book Tommy Wiseau for 2 years. It hasn't fucking happened. So when Machinima got him, I was like, how'd you guys fucking do that? I want Tommy. And nobody responded to me. Why was the bunny used as the icon for Hyper RPG? Well, did you know that Hyper RPG's full name is Hyper Rabbit Power Go? And our sister company is Harebrained Schemes, which is a video game company. So we're keeping it in the Rabbit family. And we're all Thumpers here. The meaning is just, it's cool and it's part of the Rabbit kind of family.
So let's keep the questions coming, guys. And if we want to get back into talking about Thanksgiving, and maybe for all our new viewers, for one, if you're a new viewer, please say hello in the chat room. Don't just raid and then get the fuck out of here. We want to meet new people. We want to talk to people. I want to get to know you all. I would prefer that much more. Like, let's talk. Let's have a fucking conversation here. Don't call me right now, Malika. You know I'm on the air. Yo, girl, you know I'm live right now, right? Yeah, you know I'm live right now, right? Oh, see, I'm in the studio. You can't hear anything I'm saying because I'm in the studio and, you know, there's no reception here because we're in basically a fucking cave. She just keeps saying, hello? 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 Okay, I love you. Bye! She knows I'm live right now. I don't know what she's doing. Okay. Yeah, that's Malika, everybody. For the new viewers that don't know, Malika is my significant other, and she helps here at the channel a lot. She's really amazing, but she's in LA right now for Thanksgiving. Yep, so Rock Me Amadeus Ex Machina joined a week ago during Malika Vision. That's awesome. So thank you all the new people that were just saying hello, hello, hello. Let's get to talking. So if you're new, there's a lot of things you're not going to know about me, which is awesome because I get tired of telling the same stories to the same people all the fucking time. But we share a lot of things on this show. We get really deep sometimes, like super fucking deep, and it gets really weird. But we also learn a lot about each other, and it's a really great place to, like, you know, bring out some heavy shit and talk to each other and have a good time. So people ask me questions. We dive into them. I share stories from my childhood and my life experiences and dealing with disabilities and learning disabilities and things like that. Hey!
I just ate another hole in the apartment wall. Here is some rent drywall patch money, Dad.
Thanks, my dog. Oh, Firecrow. What's up, Firecrow? Welcome, and thank you for coming into the chat room and trolling me immediately, you son of a bitch. Fuck Gotham. Now, okay, so here's something that's been happening recently. I decided to accidentally dive back into Walking Dead. So, I don't know why. I don't know why. I was curious. So, I watched season 1 of Walking Dead. Not that happy. I watched season 2 of Walking Dead, and I stopped. I stopped at the end of season 2. Fuck this. Don't like it. And then randomly when I was at Lucas's place in LA last weekend, I was like, alright, you know what? I'll start at season 6. Sure enough, within 2 minutes, I got where we were. Fine. But I have read all the comic books, so... Hyper RPG, can we ask advice? KN? Yeah, man, whatever. So... There's scenes in that show that are really good, but basically Walking Dead is like the socially acceptable live production version of Dragon Ball Z. That shit goes nowhere. It's more about what could happen, and the suspense of drama eventually happen, and you keep watching because you keep thinking something's going to be resolved and something will eventually happen, and one moment gets drawn out for fucking ever. Seriously, the first 6 episodes of season 6 took place over the course of 2 hours. Oh. And I got mad because I kept watching and I kept going, well, maybe I'll finally learn what's going on here. I'll finally figure it out. No. So it is either the Dragon Ball Z of live television, or, you know, produced television, live action television, or it is a really bad RPG group. I really feel like that sometimes when I'm watching that show. They keep deciding against their better judgment to split the party over and over again. They keep deciding instead of just moving towards a fucking objective, you go, you know what? I'm gonna take my time. I know the GM, being the showrunner or whoever, you know, the viewer, is going, we should probably get through this situation as quickly as possible because there's walkers around and bad people and all this other kind of stuff. But you know, I'm gonna check in this car right now. And you know what? I'm gonna have a shot of me walking up to that car, Why? It doesn't matter. We already know my disposition. We already know how I feel about things, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna walk up to the car anyway, and we'll get a long kind of shot of me walking and whatnot. I'm gonna walk up to that car. Oh, and there's gonna be, there's gonna be something in that car I want, but there's a walker close by. We established that. We know it's the end of the fucking world. It's season 6. We already get that there's walkers everywhere, but let's go ahead and establish it anyway. Let's go ahead and get a couple shots of that walker too, because we spent a lot of time on the makeup. We want to show it off. And then, you know what, why don't we get a couple extra angles? Let's move in from another side of the car too and do that. Okay, now let's get in the car. Let's make sure we get a shot of that happening too, because as a viewer, we're pretty stupid. We can't understand how a fucking car knob works. We can't understand that if we started this entire scene on just the car door already being open, that we couldn't put together the first 10 minutes of what just fucking happened. We're not that smart. We gotta be walked through every step of it. It feels like you're watching everything in real time. It's an absolute real time. It's absolutely infuriating, and I feel really stupid. Car knob, I know I said car knob, whatever. Door handle, car door handle, but it's really frustrating. Holy shit! What? Thank you for that subscription. Thank you. But yeah, it frustrates the shit out of me because it's just so. They show you every single step when they could show you one thing and we would understand, especially 6 seasons in. That we would know it the second it starts. We understand the premise. We've been in this world for so long with them now. Nothing needs to be explained that much. We get it. Sometimes it's simple as like, we hear Daryl's bike. We see him go away. We know what happened. He just got on his bike and he went away. No, the 4 people in that scene watching his bike go away then ask, what's Daryl doing? I don't know. What do you think Daryl's doing? What does he think he's doing? Let's run over to the gate that he just drove out of. Let's watch him now go further away down the street. Hey, what's he doing? Oh, I don't know what Daryl's doing. He's going that way. No shit. We get it. One shot. 10 seconds. We get everything. We understand his disposition. We understand who he is as a character.
As always, F you, Zach.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
#Sater-Krupp.
But we fucking get it. We get it. It drives me crazy. And it's just like, it's just bad writing. I bet the scripts for that fucking show are 2 pages. It's probably 2 pages. And they just go, show, okay, we gotta make a show out of this. Oh, you know what? Oh, we got the person was just, season 7. It's like, okay, Negan's or it's season 6, last episode of season 6 was even more frustrating because it's just like, we know what's gonna fucking happen. He's gonna kill somebody. He even said it. He said it. I'm going to kill one of you. But first, let me pace back and forth for 20 minutes, repeating the same lines over and over and fucking over again for no apparent reason. That doesn't add anything to my personality. It doesn't add anything into me as a character and my wants and wishes. I established my wants and wishes within the first 2 sentences. Your wants and wishes and your power were established throughout the entire show that led you up to that point with your whole charade of, okay, car drives this way. Oh, there's a blocked scene. Car drives over here. Oh, it's blocked. And honestly, you could have shown that within 2 of those. You go to one, it's road's blocked. You go to the next one, road's blocked. We get it. We understand as a viewer. We're smart enough to pick up the fact they're outnumbered and these guys are on top of this shit. Nope, never mind. You want to do it 6 more times before we move on? Okay, just keep driving, hit a roadblock, keep driving, hit a fucking roadblock. And oh, now he's got a bat and he's gonna use it. But first, let me tell you, I'm gonna use it 20 times. Oh, now I'm gonna take Rick and I'm gonna take him a thing. Do you know why I threw that axe on top of the car, Rick? Did you learn anything from that trip? No, because it meant nothing. It meant fucking nothing. It was to get that look out of your face. No, it didn't. That proved nothing. You could have done all that from right there without ever leaving. You literally, it's like a bad RPG. You singled out the party member, took them away somewhere, stalled, did nothing, brought them back, and nothing has been resolved or gained. Nothing. You could have cut out that entire scene the entire scene from that, and you would be in the exact same position when he got thrown back on the ground. Nothing. Stupid. But, you know, sometimes they have really good scenes and the acting's really good, so what are you gonna do? Walking Dead Season 8, Carl gets a haircut. That's the entire season. That would be amazing. Be like every episode, cut, flashback. It'd be so good. Ah, it'd be so good. But whatever. Sintier.
Hashtag Sinless supports this message.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. But anyway, if we didn't just lose all the new people that were tuning in, don't get me started on Gotham. Fuck that shit. It's not even worth me talking about. We all know why Gotham's shitty. We all know. You watch one episode and you're like, I get why this is shit. We don't need to talk about it. Walking Dead's more frustrating because a lot of people really like it. And I get why they like it. It's like why you like Dragon Ball Z. And you know what? To be totally fair. Thank you. Miss Craig 80B. To be totally fair, I love Dragon Ball Z. I eat that shit up. I still watch the shit out of it. So I get it. I get the appeal. There is that feeling of like, ooh, how are they gonna win this battle? How's this gonna play out? I won't find out this episode or in the next fucking 10. But I'm still watching. But I guess I get less frustrated with Dragon Ball Z because it's less work for the viewer, I guess. Maybe that's why, because it's more of a passive experience. Whereas Walking Dead's telling you pay really close attention. Telling you to like really focus in on it. Ugh. What's your opinion on season 9 of Murder, She Wrote? That's a good question, Jeremy Pinkham, and I don't know if we have time to dissect that right now. I agree with you, Firecrow. I mean, that's why I stopped watching at the end of season 2. After all that took place on the farm, I was like, I'm out, man. I'm out. The fight with Frieza was ridiculous, right? Right. Okay, so going back to, if there still are any new people watching and that rant didn't just make you all just fucking leave, please talk to us in the chat room. We love talking to new people. And I know a couple people did ask questions. If I missed them, that's the thing with Honesty Hour. Don't feel bad. Yeah, I'm old enough for Murder, She Wrote. Are you fucking kidding me? Give me a break, man. Just ask again. Like, that's totally cool on Honesty Hour. If I miss a question and you really want me to answer it, just post it again. That's fine. No mod's gonna get on to you for that. What's up, QSQ Gaming? Just post it again, and I'll get to it. You survived the rant somehow. Thank you, Black Soul Blizzard, for sticking it out. I'm sorry. Zach, have you been asked to retell the story of Sunshine and Erections from GNS? Nah, I don't care to. You have to ask Felicia, and then she'd say, shut up. Attitude 2016, thank you for that follow. Zach, do you think that time travel is a cardinal sin in comics or a valid plot device, especially in comics where it sort of comes out of left field to mess with things as seen in The Flash? Asked Bob Lordeath. I think it's necessary, Bob Lordeath. I think it's absolutely necessary to have time travel in comic books, because when you have a story that's sequential for years and you don't have a way out, and your ways out are killing people, which people get upset by, rebooting the entire comic book and starting from scratch that people get upset by, time travel is a great way to ease the reader. What's up, newbie? Thank you for that follow. It's a great way to ease the reader into something you want them to come to, but them being on that journey as well. So like you get that chance, like through things like Flashpoint, to take someone through that journey of that time travel, see the consequences of it for that character, so you don't feel like you're losing that piece of the character, but you then get to change the world and create a new story that you wanted. Now, on shows like The Flash, fuck it, because it's happening too often, and we don't get time to grow with those characters, and we just keep repeating things. It's a lazy writing technique. But I think in comic books, when you've been writing a character for 10 years, and you don't have many options, you gotta kind of rewrite it somehow without pissing off your entire fan base. And I think that's a better way of doing it than just rebooting the entire thing. Time travel's the worst in any media, says thou who shall not be named. Is it okay for a female... Ah, fuck, I missed it! I saw you ask that question earlier. Post it again, I'll get to it, I promise. Zach, can you tell Marvel and DC this as they keep rebooting shit all the time? Well, some of them know that, and they do it. Like, they do it. Do you think they should reboot Columbo? You just trying to go really back into TV to see if I know what you're talking about? Rackaway says, after lurking for a while, it was Honest Yarrow that got me to sub. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Rackaway. I appreciate that. Is it okay for a female to voice her crush or interest in a guy, and what's the best way to do it? Of course, Attitude 2016. Be direct. If you are a guy or a girl, it's human. Don't even look at it, is it okay for a guy or girl? Because you're going to find, especially on this channel, there's no such thing as just a female perspective or a male perspective. All that's kind of bullshit anyway. I adhere to a lot of very stereotypical male things because I was raised that way, but I understand they're bullshit and they're stereotypical. At the heart of it, there's the human aspect. And from the human aspect, whether you are gay, straight, whatever, if you're interested in someone and you like them, fucking tell them. Avoid confusion. It will make your life easier for you and for that other person. Like, holy shit. The last thing you want is ambiguity. And if you're clear with your intentions, it's much easier to also get what you want out of that situation. So I would say it's very okay for a female to address their crush to a male. I think men would appreciate that. From experience, I think a lot of men feel like there's this game that they have to play, and I think women feel that too. Hell, the fact that you even asked me that question makes me realize that you think that you have to play this game, or you are being chased, instead of you being the instigator. A good friend of mine, Ash Minnick, like proposed to her husband, and they have an awesome relationship, and I think anything is open in that situation. I think sticking to some traditional idea of like the man has to do this or the man has to engage is kind of fucking stupid and silly. Just go for it. Now, Zach, tell the story of how you hooked up with Malika again. LOL. I asked Malika to get to meet me for breakfast because she forgot her laptop charger at the studio, the old studio, and I drew a little picture on it because I thought I liked her. So I drew a little picture and gave the laptop charger teeth and everything and tried to make it kind of cute. And I was like, please save me, Malika. You should meet Zach for breakfast, blah, blah, blah. And she just responded back with like no laughter, no emoji or anything like that. She was like, when can I get my charger back? And then later she's like, I thought you were a fucking creepo. I was like, whoops. My bad. And she thought I was a creepo for a while after we met. It took some time to make her realize that I'm only a little crazy. I was watching Iron Man 3 and fell in love. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm a guy and I'm stupid with that stuff. If anyone likes me and tell me because I'm not going to know, I can't pick up on shit, and I disregard it even if I happen to notice, because I try not to think people like that because, well, esteem issues, and I don't want to be creepy. It sounds like you're kind of on top of it. I don't even really have advice for you. You recognize, and you're on top of it. Just keep working on it. A match made in heaven, right, Badger78? It works. How in the fuck did you manage to get Malika to tolerate you? I want that secret. I don't know. Again, I count my blessings every day. She's gonna wake up and realize she made a grave mistake any day now. That was my hang up, thinking the guy has to do the chasing. Nah, definitely don't. Definitely don't. Attraction's an interesting thing, and what I think's really amazing about attraction and about relationships in general, it will never, ever, ever play out the same way between two individuals anywhere, because they are unique experiences to those two individuals, and that will never be replicated. Your emotions mixed with that person's emotions are completely unique to that situation. So to adhere to any traditional standpoint that says this is how this works and this is how that works is bullshit. It's just absolute bullshit. No two people will ever have the two same experiences. So honestly, taking my advice is also kind of bullshit, because only you know how your emotions and that person's emotions could possibly line up. Just don't think that you have to play some stupid game. Kind of silly. Let's see. So I went years with either going stag to dances or not going, and I could have gone with someone whose company I enjoyed. Yeah, that's on you. Should have went. Again, I like these new people coming into the chat and asking questions. This is awesome. So if there's more new people watching, ask a stupid fucking question. I'll answer it. This is Honesty Hour. I answer every question. And most of the people who are already watching have heard just about everything. So they feel like they don't even know what to ask anymore because they know just about everything about me and I've answered just about everything. I have a new show, Destroying the Overlord, where Zach Eubanks watches the show Gotham. Favorite anime? Thank you, Black Soul Blizzard. Favorite anime? Okay. And then One Night Stands. I have opinions on those, that's for sure. Favorite anime? I mean, it goes easily between Cowboy Bebop and Death Note, which I know are both two very commercially acceptable ones. But like, I like to think like my favorite things are the things I return to the most. And I find myself randomly putting on Cowboy Bebop almost once a year. Just putting it on. I think Malika and I did that recently. We just put it on and started watching it again because it's always a really good experience. And I learned so much about filmmaking techniques. I really like Razafon. I like that one a lot. I like Neon Genesis Evangelion. The cinematography in that is so good. And anything that's done by, oh fuck, I forgot his name. Voices of a Distant Star, 5 millimeters per second. 5 meters per second or millimeters per second. The Children of the Lost Boy. What's his name? His cinematography work, his shot planning, his actual layout of scenes is the most beautiful shit I've ever seen, whether it's in film, anime, whatever. Fucking mind-blowing. Voices of a Distant Star. Who's the director on that? 5 centimeters per second, Zach. Sorry, Final Fantasy Master. What is his name? I can't remember his name. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Fuck. Where's a good place to go for a first date? Again, QSQ Gaming, that's a tough one. Holy shit, we got a new subscriber, the Crazy Con. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for that subscription. Yes! Thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. Okay. Makoto Shinkai. Thank you, Makoto Shinkai. Thank you. I was... one of my favorites. He's got a new movie out that I haven't seen yet. Haven't seen it yet. Oh, you know what other one I really like? What's it called? Paranoia Agent. One of my absolute favorites of all time. Love the writing in that. Fucking love it. That scene where he goes to talk to the old woman, the boy with the bat. Okay. That Who Shall Not Be Named, don't worry about it. Ooh, you know another, like, okay, if we start getting into the movies, Tekken Kinkreet is absolutely amazing too. Yes, Paranoia Agent's the one with the kid on the rollerblades in the bat. Paprika is also awesome, very similar to Paranoia Agent. Takeshi Miike, I love Takeshi Miike, Space Cat 189. We could have a whole conversation about Takeshi Miike on a whole nother show. I've watched, well, at a time I had watched almost all his movies, but he makes about 20 a fucking year, so I'm way behind now. Way behind, because that dude is prolific as fuck. I saw the trailer for his new film the other day, the teaser, it looks absolutely amazing. But I watched his, like, his crime trilogy. Pretty good. Visitor Q fucked with me for a while. Actually, a lot of his movies fucked with me for a while, but I still think Audition is one of his absolute tightest films that I like a lot. I'll never get that scene. God, when she's on top of him with the needles, ugh. FLCL was great too. Yeah, I love FLCL. Coming back, I'm excited for that. All right, more questions. Let's keep them rolling. There was the first date question. the first date question. As far as first dates are concerned, again, no two people are gonna have the same kind of, you know, connection. So it's always gonna be different. You know, like Malika and I, our first date was a breakfast. I called it a date. I don't know if she would. I was just handing her charger back. But I turned it into a date, I think, or tried to. Then I think the next time we hung out, we ended up just walking for a couple hours. And that was really great. It's just a conversation, which is really great. I think whatever you do, make sure that you have an opportunity to talk. If you design your date around the lack of connection, then you're putting yourself in a bad position because it's going to be based on presumptions. So try to put yourself in a position where you have an opportunity to actually talk. And sometimes dinner isn't the best way to do that because of the formalities that are involved. And movies definitely aren't the best way to do that. But that's Zach, have you ever used Tinder or other online dating stuff? I tried Tinder around the same time Hector did last year before I met Malika. And I was on there for like a week and was completely disgusted by it and couldn't take it and got the fuck out of there. It really weirded me out and it was not comfortable in any way. It weirded me out. I did not like the whole vibe of it at all. Too on the surface. It made me really uncomfortable. What advice would you have for someone looking to get into video and film production in an area with very little job opportunities and no money to move? JWoods256, YouTube, and then work. Attitude 2016 says opinion on one night stands. Okay. One night stands are an interesting thing because again, it's just like relationships. People's expectations of love and closeness. I don't want to sound like I'm judging anyone, so it's all based on your own personal experiences. I myself cannot be comfortable with something like that. I just can't. It's not my personality type. I think that, and I'm actually a very traditional person when it comes to, Malika calls me a prude. I'm a very traditional when it comes to relationships and things like that, but that doesn't mean I think everyone else should be. It's all about what you want and you as a person. A lot of people can have casual relationships with others in a sexual way and be totally fine. And that's cool for them. That's great. Me personally, I just don't fit into that boat. I am much more in the traditional sense of like, I want a connection. I want to actually feel something for another person and I want it to mean something and have it last. That's just my personality though. It doesn't mean that that's what other people should do. From my experience, if it doesn't mean something, it feels hollow to me and I'm not into it. I'm also not, because of my physical pain, you've seen somebody in the chat keeps asking me about my physical pain. Sexual relationships for me are already in a really weird place because I suffer from chronic pain. So physical attraction doesn't do much for me. The same goes for, because I studied in art for so long and I spent like 8 years studying the figure, it's kind of this weird, like it doesn't mean the same thing to me as it did when I was a 14-year-old. You know, once I got through college and got deeper into art and things like that, like physical form became less important. And then as my physical pain took off, it made it a lot harder to be physically attracted to things. And my stimulation has to come mentally. I have to be connected to someone and I have to really feel for that person to connect with them and want to be with them in that way. So that's just me personally, but I don't think that's how other people have to live their life. It's up to the individual. Definitely up to the individual and their preference. Let's see. More questions. Let's keep this conversation going. And the big thing we try to do on Honesty Hour is when these questions come in, it creates conversation that the rest of you get to have in the chat room. Because everyone's going to have different experiences. And it's a chance for us all to connect and learn a little bit more about each other on the internet, which is weird, but it's kind of cool. Someone asked about the Nerd Fusion event. Is that going to be here or on their channel? It's going to be on their channel. We're producing it at Hyper RPG. I'll be running the board. I'll be helping them build the set and everything, but it's going to be on their channel. You would love a show where me and other creative people looked at a piece of art, everything from a frame of a movie, comic, anime, painting, sculptures, and discussed disposition, what you see, what you think people see, what story the thing tells, and disagreeing with chat. I actually really like that, and Laura and I wish it could work. Maybe one day. Where we are right now, fucking shit, that wouldn't work. What's the last comic I read? Well, I read one last night before I went to bed. Actually, it was unfortunately the new Civil War book. And I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm about to read Black Monday Murders because fuck, that book's amazing. And number 4 came out and I was too tired to read it last night. Clockwork Komodo says, can you do any impersonations? Tune in tomorrow to see if I can, because we'll be doing a live reading, and I'm sure people will be tipping for me to do voices of the different people. So tomorrow we're going to be doing a Thanksgiving stream. We're going to call it Pity's Giving, because I'll be here by myself. Everyone else went out of town, so I'll be here by myself streaming in the studio, and it'll be interesting. I've not read Astro City. What shows are you enjoying at the moment? Have you seen Stranger Things yet? Fuck yes, I've seen Stranger Things, and it blew my mind. Lucas and I had like an hour-long conversation about Stranger Things. I love it. Absolutely love it. I like Stranger Things a lot. I really like Outcast right now. I think Outcast is a far stronger show coming out from Robert Kirkman. Far stronger than Walking Dead. It has movement and has a character you can connect to. And a character you can actually be curious about. And there's mystery there that you want to discover. I like Preacher. As far as what's currently on TV, like right now, I don't think there's anything currently on. I really like the first couple episodes of Westworld, and then I started getting frustrating with it because it's starting to fall into that lost place for me. Like, I feel like Westworld is trying to trick me, and I don't like feeling like I'm purposely being tricked. I like discovering things as a participant, like a character. Stranger Things is a good example. Love Stranger Things because you are the kids. You are living the mystery with them. Westworld, the mystery exists only because they're withholding information from you. If people just spoke what was on their fucking mind, there would be no mystery, and I think that's lazy writing. I don't like it. When people are just withholding things, that's not interesting to me. That's not interesting to me at all. That's not mystery. That's just you being a dick. I don't like that at all. And I feel like they're being... I don't like it when people do things to be confusing for the sake of just being confusing to try to keep you engaged. I feel like that's cheap, and I don't really like it. So I kind of backed off after episode 3 or 4, and I'll probably watch it again when it's all out at once, like the end of the season. But right now, I'm kind of let's see. Yeah, Stranger Things was written really well. Really fucking good. But right now, like, I don't know. Like, there's nothing right now, like, every week that I'm like, ah. I mean, I'm still gonna watch Flash every week, but that doesn't mean I'm loving it. Oh, Clockwork Komodo! Yeah! Thank you for that subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for subscribing to Hyper RPG. Thank you, Clockwork Komodo. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys all for tuning in tonight, for watching, for talking, for having a conversation with me, for keeping that chat room hyped and keeping it moving. I really appreciate that. Thank you all so much for being here and hanging out. Like I said, we talked about Thanksgiving earlier and the things people have going on. An 8-bit dance force. The comment about lazy writing won me over. Oh. Well, I'm not a writer, so it's coming from a place of ignorance as well, but I am a viewer. I'm an avid viewer and a filmmaker, and I've made some really shitty things in the past. Crossover episodes all next week for CWDC shows. Literally the only times I watch all of them. Yeah, I probably will watch the crossover event. How many tattoos do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 tattoos. Dude, the 1990 version of Flash is so good, right? Qui-Gon? Oh man, it's so good. You know what's crazy when you go back and watch that show? Is how obvious it is that they just straight up stole personalities for the new show. Like, you can see that the actors on the new Flash went back, watched the old Flash, and just went, I'm that character now. I'm stealing that personality, those movements, the way they talk, just straight up took it. It's mind-blowing how similar it is. And you can tell the producers of the new show were big fans of the 90s version. But it's good. It's like old school, you know, TV at its best. You know, villain of the week kind of shit. It's good. It's really good. Let's see. Right? Yeah, it is pretty cool that they brought the actor back to be the dad. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Yeah, Captain Cold was 100% the best. He's my favorite thing, and the only thing that made Legends of Tomorrow any good. The 80s Doctor Strange TV, that pilot though, that 80s Doctor Strange pilot, so good. Man, that's a bummer. All right, let's get some more questions up in here. And if there's anyone that's tuning in that's completely new, I know a lot of you guys are being quiet. I know that it's also intimidating because our chat room is really tight and it moves really quick and there's a lot of people talking. But honestly, I do respect like hearing from every new person that has something to say or wants to contribute to the conversation. I do want just a Captain Cold show for sure. Like, you know, just be a part of the conversation. It's great. Did you watch Doctor Strange? I like Doctor Strange. What's the weirdest skill that I have? Says Burt Macklin 77. That's an awesome fucking name. And thank you for asking a question. Weirdest skill that I have. Oh man, this is interesting because I have a ton of skills. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. I have a ton of fucking skills. Growing up in Arkansas, I had to be really skilled at a lot of different things to survive. And same with running this channel. But weird skills. That's a tough one. Like, what's a weird skill? Because they're all very technical. I haven't seen Suicide Squad yet. Like, it's a lot of technical skills. Like, you know, different, like, things having to do with, like, electricity or cinematography or welding or shit like that. What's a weird one? How do you classify it as weird? I don't have many. Okay, here's the difference. I do have like technical skills. I don't have many like tricks. What's really funny is, you know, Lucas, my little brother, he's got tricks. Like, he's an expert yo-yo person, and he can do like, he'll pick up something and he'll learn it to no end. I went the other route where I did the same thing, but with like auto mechanics or painting or welding or this or that or like all these other kinds of things. Weird skill. Man. You know, like that you can clean and gut a squirrel in 15 seconds kind of skill. But I don't see that as a skill! Like spearfishing. I used to be able to kick the rim of a basketball goal. Oh, like a weird skill for a talent show. Well, if it was that thing, I'd probably do all my weird body disjointed kind of like shit, like all the weird triple jointed, no ligaments stuff, you know, all that kind of shit. Just to freak people out and be like one of those sideshow things. Huh. That's weird. It's a good question because it's like, what's something that's considered weird but is a skill? Gross. Good talent shows. Yeah, I can't even like. It could really. I mean, that's totally backwards. I guess you can't see the front of it, so it doesn't really. Nah. I don't know. The weirdest one, I guess, is my fingers. Every single joint in my body dislocates because of my tendon disorder. So there's like weird stuff of like, that's all the fingers in my hand dislocating. But yeah, I don't have any, all my tendons are like rubber bands. They don't work right. You're on that weird part of Twitch again. That's true. That's true. I am the Bull 5. You just showed up to the weird part. Honestly though, is there any part of Twitch that's fucking normal? I am the Bull 5. Like any of it? Like if you really step outside of it, like okay, let's say weird skills, if we're being totally honest, the weirdest skill I have to the outside world is the fact that I am a Twitch producer, which is the stupidest and weirdest things to say because it didn't exist until a couple of years ago. Worst ASMR ever. Twitch is weird as fuck. Like it's totally fucking weird. It's a weird thing. It's a super weird thing. It's awesome. It's really cool. But it's weird as shit. Let's be real about it. Doesn't matter what you're watching. You are taking time out of your day to watch someone else sit, usually not a professional in any sense of the word, play a video game, talk to you, hang out, many different ways of doing it in a live setting. It's weird. It's a weird thing. How afraid were you for the Vanquish cast this past Monday? Nah. They're super overpowered. I'm not too worried about them. The weirdos are the viewers. Yeah, honestly. When you really think about it. You really are. I need a video camera for skits and stuff. New or used? Go used. If you're doing it for skits, you don't... What's your knowledge level? Rock me Amadeus Ex Machina. Tell me your knowledge level of camera functions and lenses, and I'll tell you what you need.
Overlord 2020, here's a tip for mentioning Paranoia Agent. We could be brothers in another life. Thumper Pride.
Indeed, thank you. Thank you. I don't want to kill off AJ. I really don't. I think we're all pretty weird here in our own way. I think being weird is important too. When anyone talks about like some sort of societal norm, it sounds boring as fuck and pretty stupid. Actually sounds really stupid, because that to me sounds even weirder. That sounds to me like you're saying, like, I give up. Let's get some more questions. More questions. Normal equals boring. Exactly. Well, there is no such thing, really. Some people just are better at fitting into societal norms, but then you get to know them, and there's always something weird about everyone. Something always just a little off. Always. That's what I thought was really interesting about growing up in the woods, out in the middle of nowhere. Because people couldn't hide it as well. Good night, Attitude 2016. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Oh, you thought I was going to put another AC-20 through his head? Am I on a rosemary diet while Malika is away? No, I'm on the diet of forgetting to eat until the end of the day, and I just start diving into a bag of pretzels. I agree, Lolilo1975. What character / NPC have you most enjoyed playing on this channel? Ooh, that's a good question, Oricmon. Geek 40. Even though it was short, Geek 40. You mentioned running Linux earlier. What distribution did you run? I bet you were a Slackware guy. Honestly, Seraph32, I can't remember because it was 12 years ago. I can't remember. Too long ago. Did Pingu Lord ever happen? I can never find a video or picture of it. Yeah, it did, Burke Macklin 77. You fucking kidding me? Like more than once. Pingu Lord happened. More than once. For sure. Oh, you like Volpez, PK Theater? Do you think Twitch now is like TV in the early days, or is it a fundamentally limited platform? I think it's more similar to TV in the early days. I think in some ways, well, at least the way we're running it, in general, I don't think it is. But it definitely has some similarities to, you know, the old variety shows in the 50s and stuff like that, like a little bit more about that audience interaction. I don't know what Amp in my head said Wilder 251, but I can't agree with you more. Like, Felicia is amazing. I respect the shit out of her. I have so much respect for her. It's insane. I learned a lot. Can't wait to see more EXO. That's right, EXO will be next week. You picture like anime characters flocking around Geek 40 shouting AIM EXO only and throwing peace signs and the like when we talk about Geek 40, right? You hate having to watch to adjust the antenna to watch Twitch feeds? I'm just curious. You certainly compared to PBS and the viewer-funded driven sense. Yeah, I think honestly, the way we run Twitch here, it's more similar to Kickstarter than any other medium. Honestly. Let's see. What do you think was the single moment that most changed your life besides birth? That is an awesome question, Flying Koopa Khan. Wow, there's multiple moments. There's multiple. Wow, that's a really good question because there's definitely multiple. One was being with my grandmother on her deathbed and us having to pull the plug. And I think it was 9? 12. I think it was 12. That was a pretty important moment. When I was 16, I got to spend 17. I got to spend a summer at an art camp that I was accepted to. MFAA, the Missouri Fine Arts Academy. I was one of like 200 students from around the state that were accepted. And at the time, I was only picked on and bullied for being an artist, and I got beat up a lot for it. And that was really important to my development, and learning that there were other people like me, and that I wasn't extremely weird, because I'd let that get to my head. And I'd say the other was getting divorced. Not getting married, but getting divorced later in life for my adulthood. So it's kind of like the kid moment, the teenager moment, and then the adult moment. I think the adult moment was definitely my divorce and how that affected me and what I learned about myself and what I learned about people and the world. There was a lot I learned in that couple months that heavily affected me as an adult, for sure. Zach, I don't know you have time for such a project, but if you did, would you be interested in making a movie or write a book or something like that, or would you rather paint? Lowly Little 1975, it's make a movie. That is still my end goal. That is why I moved to Los Angeles. There are still many scripts in the works. I had worked years towards that goal, and I got sidetracked by Twitch in some ways, and Twitch has taken me on this amazing journey that I'd never prepared for, but ultimately filmmaking is still the end goal that I will probably get back to someday. Do you ever worry that you need to constantly push for growth and new viewers can make older viewers feel less welcome? Krellin, I feel like I'm not in control. I know that we will never change our values and our output. So if viewers start feeling like they're less welcome, that has more to do with their own personalities than it has to do with the reality. I think sometimes people will feel like when more viewers come in, they're getting less attention, which has more to do with their own insecurities as viewers than it has to do with what's actually happening. Because as long as we stick to our core values, as long as we continue doing honesty hours, talking in Discord, playing games with the community and all those things, the community can grow and continue to be extremely tight and large. Because I've done that before, and I've experienced that on a much larger scale. So I think that's more up to that individual and that person on whether or not they feel that they're getting enough attention. I don't think that the fundamentals, they won't be less welcome in any way, shape, or form. I don't think that will happen at all because our core values are there and will always be there. I will never do a modern tragedy reboot Savage Punch. It was a terrible idea. It's not a good concept for a film. It's an extremely naive concept for a film. That's why it's hilarious. No, the scripts that I have in the works now that I've had for a long time are all really good ideas. It's just a question of whether or not they can be achieved. No, Analar. No, honestly. Because the type of films I write are so different than the type of people I like to surround myself with. That time you were going to propose and got broke up with days before with something? Yeah, that's a heavy moment. It did, Wilder 1251, it did. I made more money off Modern Tragedy than I did any other films I've ever done. I still get checks for the clown show. It's really weird. It's on Snag Films, and I get paid every once in a while. I'll get like a check for a couple bucks every once in a while. I'm like, oh shit, people are still watching this. My favorite movie of 2016, that's a tough one. So here's the thing, I used to be a film fanatic. I used to watch almost 2 movies a day for a couple of years. As I went through college and I had to admit to myself that I didn't know shit. I kind of went back in on myself and researched a lot. But once I started doing Twitch, I had to stop watching movies because I don't have time. And because my job is so stressful that I used to consider like watching movies as kind of like a chore. It's kind of like I wanted to be affected in a very heavy way. I wanted to be emotionally challenged and tested, which is work. It's fucking work. It's emotional work. And with this jobs I've been doing with Twitch for the last couple of years, they're so draining and so time consuming that now when I get off work, the idea of watching a 2-hour film that I want to like put me through the ringer does not sound enjoyable at all. So I watch a lot more television that I can more slowly dissolve into. Rather than get that impactful like, ugh! There's a bunch of movies that came out last year that I'm really upset with myself that I haven't seen yet. Like the black and white film, like I haven't seen that yet, and I know I'll fucking love it. I know I will love it. So I'm really kind of mad at myself that I haven't dove in a long time. And I still see good movies, but not. I miss that sometimes. The sacrifices we make for our careers, you know. Zach, what's the funniest and weirdest moment and most embarrassing moment on Twitch? I mean, it's always gonna go down to embarrassing's getting the pillow version of myself from Felicia. Funniest and weirdest was Hector and I wearing black bodysuits dancing on Felicia as payback. I see what you're saying about core values, Zach. A thing I see a lot of other Twitch channels do, but not hyper so much, are things like every new subscriber gets something special for that subscriber, which can make people that miss the giveaways period feel left out, but hyper doesn't really do the things I do. No, our core values will always be the same. As we grow, because that's what we really believe in here. We're not trying to build this kind of like, we're not in it. So it's hard to explain, because yes, we are a media company. Yes, we have a lot of bills to pay. Yes, our employees get salaries, which is daunting because numbers are important, but we cannot sacrifice that, what makes us our core values as a company. And those values include community. And they include community to a point that we want to create a positive change on the internet. We want to be able to have a community where we can have conversations like this one, or when AJ was on a couple weeks ago and we talked about racism, you know, and when Strix was on and we talked about sexism. Like, those are important things to us that as a community, we want to help change the internet from the inside, to create a place where people can have honest fucking discussions with each other without being goddamn idiots that are at each other's throats. That's important to us. And making people feel like they have a place that they can call home. That's important to us. So yes, we want to grow. We have to survive. But we're going to try to do it by finding those people who share that need and hope to find those things. We don't want a bunch of 14-year-olds in here talking about their dicks. We just don't want it. And we could easily get it if we wanted to. It would be so fucking easy for me to flip this around and start making content that gets us a lot more viewers and a lot higher numbers. It would be very easy. The hard part is sticking to those core values and getting those extra numbers and getting those new viewers without sacrificing those values that are at its heart. So we have to grow, we have to, but it won't change. It just won't. I won't let it, because it's our channel. It's not owned by some other big company. And I know that's weird to say on Twitch because almost 99% of channels are owned by the people running them, but we are a little different. We are a media company. We produce content of multiple shows with multiple people getting paid constantly. So it is a little different, but at the end of the day, it's our channel. And by our, I mean me and yours. And we will not change those core values. Okay, going back to questions. Oh. Questions? Now you're just doing the who am I? I guess it is midnight. We usually call the night at midnight. Yes, all of our content's up on YouTube. If there are new people lurking in the chat room, youtube.com/hyperrpg if you want to see the type of content we make. We don't always just do me sitting here. And the next 2 days, I will be playing games on the channel when I have time. I'm not going home or doing anything for Thanksgiving, so I'll be around hanging out. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to... I know I'm probably going to do a live reading tomorrow. I'll probably play some games with you guys. I was going to play some Paragon, but it's like with the new update coming in like a week or 2 weeks, I don't even see the point because it's going to change everything. So I don't even know if I'll do it. Malika's in LA with her family. I'm up here, so. Oh, thank you, Bob Lordeth. Thank you for that. Could play MXM, maybe. Might do that. Give away some keys. Oh, I haven't seen Moni yet. I'm not shell-shocked to go into the jungle. Oh, thank you, Lolio1975. I hope so. And you know what? I've seen a difference between last year and this year. Last year when I went on Twitch stage and talked about that kind of stuff. Oh, you know what? I want to read this. I can I just start following I have film ideas and I just would like to get some knowledge on how to make good visual art as far as video production goes. Research the masters. Read. Study. The great thing about learning filmmaking is it's all right in front of you. Well, okay. When it comes to the way you worded it, learning about good visual art, it's all right in front of you and you can study that shit and no one can stop you. Now, learning the terminology, learning the ins and the outs and how actual production works, it's guarded as shit and it's a fucked up system. Like to the point that they rename everything so it's not inclusive at all. It's like completely exclusive as an industry with unions and everything. So that part's hard to get over that hump, but the hump of knowledge, the actual aspect of knowledge and learning the things you need to learn to know how to do actual good visual art, it's all right in front of you and no one can take that away from you. You can just suck that shit up from everywhere around you. The art that's around you everywhere, the TV, all these things. You can learn just about anything from any TV show you turn on. You know, it's like some of the shittiest TV shows have amazing DPs working for them that may not be able to give you the best image, but with the tools that they have, the time that they have to shoot, the lighting that they're forced to work with, the sets that they're forced to work with, the choices that get made from the art department, the color, the subtle makeup choices, all those things come together to make an awesome image. You can learn so much from just about anything in front of you in any form of media. You know, I borrow a lot of things that we do on our channel from other sources of media, and I had to learn a lot. When I first started on Twitch doing this kind of higher production value content, I tried making it too much like produced film because that was my background. It took me some time to unlearn some certain things and reevaluate what's important for the viewer, how to still make it look good and pleasing from an aesthetic standpoint while being what the viewer actually wants to see in a live setting, which is kind of counterintuitive to what people think the viewer wants. And that's why you'll find a lot of channels and media companies trying to replicate certain aspects of it without understanding what the viewer actually wants. And they're giving it to you in a way that's more like television, which isn't what works on Twitch. But as far as like how to actually tell good visual storytelling, go pick up books from the library of the masters. The classics still hold up. So much of it's cultural. I'll give you that. It's cultural. If you were to learn like filmmaking for Asian cinema, their art from the past influences their frame. Like if you were to go watch stuff by Ozu, it's phenomenal because they used to tell space by height. So shooting in 4:3 on Japanese film was the way to go. We're all about widescreen because we use atmospheric perspective to create depth in the frame. But with a lot of Asian cinema, your depth is created. Oh my God, Dreaded Cone is hosting us! Ah, and it keeps going! I'm in the middle of a film rant, and we're getting a Cone raid, you son of a bitch. Cone, thank you, Dreaded Cone. Oh man, you don't get Thanksgiving up there. Well, this Thanksgiving, but you know, anyway, I'm thankful for people like Dreaded Cone in Canada because that dude's super fucking awesome. Thank you for the raid. Guys, defend. We got a bunch of new viewers coming in. For all the new viewers that are tuning in, we are Hyper RPG. We are a hyperactive, interactive, community-driven channel built by you, for you, and what that means is that we do content that's pretty much decided on by the community. I come up with the ideas, we film it. If they don't like it, we change it. We're constantly evolving. We do high production value content here, and right now we're doing a show called Honesty Hour where I sit and talk to you and we hang out. I answer your questions. Thank you, the East Gamer Zero, for that follow. I answer your questions. We have conversations. I was in the middle of a rant when you guys started rating me about visual learning and how you can become a better visual filmmaker through the tools that you have available to you and all that stuff. And I was about to go on a whole rant about Asian cinema versus Western cinema and how our art bakery and Western art versus Eastern art has influenced filmmaking. But Steadless, thank you for that follow. Very much appreciated. Oh, God. I was like, it's 12 o'clock. We're going to keep it going now. I guess I'm going to answer some more questions. We can get into some art stuff and all that good stuff. So the idea with this show, thank you, Renomania66. The idea behind this show is to get you all asking questions. Let's have a fucking conversation. If you came in here, you know, and you're like, hey, what's up? And then you're out, like, I want to talk to you guys. Ginger's awesome 123 is a thumper in training. Battle Royale versus Hunger Games rant? That is not what it was. Those are two completely different. I'm talking more about the actual visual aspect of the frame, the art behind the frame, not storytelling as a divisive thing of like Hunger Games taking an idea from an Eastern thing. That's more surface level. I'm talking about the actual frame of the image and how it's influenced, and the example being, if you were to go back and look at an Ozu film, it's shot in 4:3, but that works really well, whereas we like widescreen because of the differences in how we tell space. In Eastern art, they told space in a vertical form, so when something was higher in a frame, that meant that it was further away. And the Western eye teaches us that if two things are on top of each other, they're next to each other in space, and we use atmospheric perspective to create distance through the use of color shifting through tone, creating more of a blue tone to simulate atmosphere, and also a vantage point that goes back in space, which is an artistic style that we created around the time of Leonardo da Vinci. And Eastern art was about height. So that gets influenced into our film, and some of the coolest aspects are through like Ozu films, where you're seeing these cool shots where they're using a really high exposure value on their lenses, like f/18 or f/22, because they don't want depth within their frame, they want height within their frame. So they're actually creating a smaller aperture that creates less depth. Whereas in American cinema, we're likely to open our aperture to shoot at something at like between f/1.4 and f/2.8 to create depth in the frame, to allow things to blur out of focus into the background and create color shifts through lighting to push them into the distance, where Asian cinema is more likely to stack them and create a smaller aperture to create a focal point that extends further within the distance and all that kind of stuff. And it's exciting stuff that I like talking about. What was up with that commercial with the tacos earlier? That's something I filmed a long time ago to make fun of all that stuff. 420 Reef Blower Gaming says, thank you for the wealth of knowledge you gave me, and I will read up. If you ever get a space in your life where you're able to shoot a movie, I have a horror script in the making. I shot a lot of stuff back in the day. It was funny, earlier today, Emily and I sat down for a little bit, and someone randomly reminded me of something a long time ago I shot, and I got really excited. I was like, oh my god, we have to watch some of this crazy shit I shot when I was in LA, because I forgot about a lot of the things I was cinematographer on, because I just took so many jobs and I forgot so many of them. And then sometimes I start remembering them. I'm like, oh fuck, I shot this really weird and fucked up thing, like this one music video. Oh, she was watching that really weird Thanksgiving thing, and I remembered I shot a Christmas video for a child star once that was really funny and weird. You're drunk and you're loving this stuff, says Ezio Life. Well, I'm glad you're loving it, man. Let's talk. Let's hang out. I'm sitting here talking to the internet, and it's a cool time. And once again, thank you, Dreaded Cone. Please, any of our followers, go follow Dreaded Cone. Most of you know him, but please, please, please. Zach, recommend me one film that I should watch to really see that stuff you were talking about with vertical space in an Asian film. Well, any Ozu film. Go through the Criterion Collection and any Ozu film. Last name OZU. Any of those, or any of the old Kurosawa films. like that. Any of the old black and white, like even Seven Samurai, things like that. You're gonna see them out in the woods and stuff, and you'll see individuals in the woods where you'll have someone in the bottom right of the frame and someone in the top left of the frame. To you, you think they're kind of right on top of each other, but that's them trying to tell you that someone's being followed, that someone's at a distance. That's how they see distance. So it's a different form of storytelling. But there's a lot of similarities too. Like the movement in the frame between Kurosawa and Western art is so similar, it's insane. Like, it's interesting to me the differences between certain aspects and the similarities in others, like the universals, like with music. There's those universals that are really interesting. Zach, less talking, more Paragon. No. Ugh. Shut up, Raymond. Ooh, Tokyo Story. Yeah, Tokyo Story. Fucking, yeah. Go watch Tokyo Story. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Beware, Ozu films aren't adventure movies, they are art films. But they're fucking great! They're so good. Don't beware, they're great. Ever shot with hip-hop dancers or traditional dancers before? Yeah, Anime Saint. I've done that. I've shot dance stuff. I'm okay right now in my head. We're okay. Love listening to someone be passionate about things. Well, I love film. I love art. I love visual storytelling. I like storytelling in general. And what I like about storytelling is all the different ways that you can tell a story. And what I think film is amazing for is you're telling it in every single fucking decision, down to every minute goddamn detail, to every stitch that your costuming department puts in, every color choice that your art team puts in, or lack thereof, or every prop that they put in the background. Those are all storytelling devices. Every sound that your sound designer puts in or leaves out is a tool that's telling their own version of that story that all comes together to tell one unified story, and it's fucking phenomenal. The fact that it works at all is fucking phenomenal. It's a miracle every time a film comes together, and when you find ones that are amazing, that transport you to another world and another place, it's like this magical fucking thing. And a lot of people hate going to the movies with me because I'm overly critical because I've studied in film for so long. But it's more exciting when I find something I really like doing that. It makes it even more amazing because you come out of it like, oh fuck, how did they do that? Like, I'll never forget the first time I went to see There Will Be Blood in theaters, and to understand myself enough as a viewer that opening dissolve, that opening fade in to a kind of sepia toned, not really sepia toned, but you know, a very warm toned landscape of a desert with Johnny Greenwood's kind of strings coming in. That first 5 seconds, I knew I was gonna love that fucking movie. The composition mixed with the sound design and the patience of that edit and that fade in and the confidence of the movement of the camera to the next shot to the next shot. It took 5 seconds for me to, this is gonna be my movie of the year. Right there. I was not disappointed. Every single fucking building scene on that was just blowing my goddamn mind. There was a very interesting TED Talk recently about what sounds are substituted in for things like cooking bacon in place of rain. The substitution sound works better than the real sounds. That is exactly correct, Zexis. Like, almost all the time, the replication sound is going to be better. Foley artists are magical things. And I wish Alex was here to talk about this, because Alex does all the Foley for my film, and he's done a lot of it for film, and we get really excited. Him and I like break that stuff down when we get into it, and we start like looking at like how you can take a certain sound and manipulate it a little bit to give you the feeling that you want. Because the way a punch sounds in reality isn't the way you want it to sound in film, because it doesn't mean anything. A real punch, but it depends on the film. Actually, let me take that back. It depends on the film. Sometimes it can be extremely impactful because it doesn't sound the way you think it should, and because it takes you out of that moment. You think you know what a punch sounds like because you've heard it so many times in film, and sometimes a film can play off that expectation that you have and use it to their advantage and create a situation where it is a real punch and it's so not impactful that there's this like coldness to it and this kind of shock to it that's more like a knife than a punch, that gives you a heightened reaction, but it only works in very specific instances. The Great Escape, yeah, that's a good one, Paxmo. How do you think VR will influence cinema technically? It's a long way off of tech, and I mean, all of it's gonna influence everything, and there's some really amazing VR film work coming out right now, but it's not really a game, and it's not really film, and it's weird. It's weird. I'm curious, but here's the thing. Just like with games sometimes, and Malika's talked about like framed shots like within a game, and I think I was telling her about Tomb Raider and how well I thought the reboot of Tomb Raider did with that, where it's like it knows where you're going to end up when you get to the end of a puzzle, and it's giving you a framed shot to heighten the sense of emotion. And I think VR sometimes is going to get to a place where it's less impactful than a film, because you as the viewer need someone to tell you those stories. It's kind of the same with RPGs. And like how open-ended RPGs sometimes don't do as well as things like D&D that are giving you prepackaged stories. Because you, sometimes as the viewer, aren't confident enough in your own creative abilities to come up with those things on your own. And if in a VR setting, you as the viewer are the engager and you're having to look where you think you should look, you're taking some of that artistic ability out, and you have a different impact on the viewer. And you have a different sense of control, where too much of the control can be given to the viewer, and they're not going to be able to put themselves in the position to understand what you wanted them to see as easily. And that's why I think the manipulated shot is sometimes better than the controlled shot that you as a viewer get to participate in. The difference, I guess, being like a game that's an open world game versus a game on rails. You know, like Mass Effect 3 might give you a more illicit response, whether good or bad, than something like Grand Theft Auto, because you are being forced through their eyes to take you where they want you to go. And I think that can be better. So, Zach, are you going to paint again? Do you have any ideas for paintings? Anything particular you want to work on? I honestly don't. Because I don't have time. I just don't have time. I want to paint. I love painting. I just don't have time. I miss it sometimes. Yes and no. I don't know. That might be a lie when I say I miss it. Honestly. To me, creativity is... I'm not like one of those purists. Like, I honestly kind of find painting to be kind of stupid. I enjoy it, but I understand that it's not as valid as it used to be, because we've evolved as a society past it as a tool. And I think art is at its best when it's a tool for communication. And if nobody's communicating with that tool anymore, then I don't feel like it's relevant. I enjoy it. I like it. It can elicit a response. But if you're only painting for other painters, then what the fuck's the point? I don't get it. I don't want to paint for other painters. I want to be able to tell stories in a way that the average person gets to enjoy them and have a conversation about them. Otherwise, well, fuck those hoity-toity assholes. Like, why even do that? Zach, what are your 2 favorite sweet treats? Candy, cake, or whatever? And if not the same thing, what's your favorite movie snack? I like Swedish fish, and I like gummy treats. Have you ever gone through the Dark Souls universe cinematically? I have not, Tremorfer. I haven't. I've heard good things. Only artsy people use the word purist. Well, I know. I understand. I have a master's in painting. I'm coming to this from a position of intellectual academia that is bullshit, and I accept that it's bullshit. What type of tech do you own that's under $150 that you enjoy? Trying to find things to add to my Christmas list. Ooh, under $150 tech that I enjoy. Good question. Bluetooth headphones. Those come in handy a lot when I'm working. I like to be able to put them in and walk away from the computer but still take calls and things like that. Bluetooth headphones, for sure. And a good mouse. Art is at its best when it generates an emotional response no matter the medium, and I agree. And if you're not reaching anyone with that emotional response, what's the fucking point? Like, that's the point I don't understand. Zach, do you have a favorite RPG system? You know, I'm pretty new to RPGs, like really new. I'm better at producing them than I am playing them. Because producing them is coming from a storytelling standpoint. And I can outwardly look into it and say, this is how you can make that better as a story. As a system, that's my weak point. I'm not a system guy. I'm a big picture guy. So I don't understand role-play RPG systems very well. So I like systems in general that are extremely open and loose. Because I'm a storyteller. I'm not a number cruncher. I hate numbers. I fucking hate numbers. Absolutely. So, yeah. All right. Okay, so are there any other people? Are there any people that stuck around from the dreaded Cone Raid? Like, say hi. Say hello. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you guys. I'm interested in the art that's going to be coming out nowadays, given the world. I feel like artists have a lot to say right now. That's true. MegaloblazeOne, art gets at its most interesting when artists have something to be upset about. Dirt Kingdom, we still here. What's up, Dirt Kingdom? Seedles saying hi. What is the point? The emotional response is the artist's point of view, not the viewer. Lord Sososka, hello. Yes. Rusty Machine, how you doing? How's it going? Ooh, Tremorfer, thank you for following. Hi bro, Cezazio Live, thank you guys for tuning in. Please join the conversation, ask questions, let's talk. It can be about movies, painting, life in general. You know, sometimes we talk about mental health issues on here, we've all gone through them. We, on this show, talk about everything. It's called Honesty Hour for a reason. I will share just about any fucking thing, even if it sounds like a stupid question. We like to chat, like to get to know each other a little bit better. It's all about strengthening this community and getting to know each other, one another, and proving that no matter where the fuck you are in the world, we're all human beings and we all share a lot of the same experiences and can relate to each other in really interesting and unique ways. What are you saying I might remember? Oh, I missed it. This has been a long hour. Lingomorph! I was here before and after the raid. This has been a long hour. Thank you, Lingomorph, for sticking around, and thank you for those bits. I very much appreciate that. Oh, she's trying to call me again. I'm still... Yo, girl, you know I'm still alive. I'll call you a little bit, okay? Alright, love you. Bye. Zach, do you remember what you have instead of shoelaces? They're these things, and they're fucking amazing. This is the best thing. This has changed my life. This has changed my life. These are rubber shoelaces. They're just little inserts. Here, let me take one out for you. I'll show you. That's it. It's just a little rubber piece. Give you some contrast so you can actually see it. Put it in front of my forehead. It's just a little piece of rubber. And it's changed my life. I don't ever have to tie my fucking shoes. And they're not Velcro, so you don't look like a child. So they're great. You just replace your shoelaces with them, and they stretch to fit your foot, which makes your shoes always snug all the way up, and you don't have to constantly readjust your laces, and you can slip them on and slip them off. Changed my fucking life. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hey baby, she's in the chat now. Where'd I get them? Amazon. They were $8. $8. Zach, please rant about the show Big Bang Theory. So, Zach says, I hate that show and I think it's damaging to nerds everywhere. Now, I once ignorantly said that I felt like that show was blackface for nerds, and then some people put me in my place and said, that's a pretty insensitive thing to say considering that nerds aren't necessarily oppressed the way black people are. I was like, you are correct, and I will not use that to describe it again. I think that show does a disservice to people who consider themselves outside the norm when it comes to geek culture. It isn't a show made for people who adhere to geek culture. It's a show made for family members who go, I know someone like that. Oh, so-and-so is totally like that. I know that person, while picking fun at them the entire time. There's no jokes in that show. They're just making references to things. It's a fucking joke.
Woof, 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 poop, woof, woof.
Yep, Kaiju BB, woof, 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 poop, woof, woof. I like that it blurred out poop up there. The show that fools my coworkers into thinking they understand me is sad. Yeah, my parents went through the same thing, and I had to tell them, like, that is not what it is. That has nothing to do with actual geek culture. Geek culture is a very layered thing with many different facets and many different types of geeks. Just making references to every comic book and or geeky thing from the 80s does not make it geek. Those are just references. They're not jokes. They're literally just saying this and this and this and putting them together in a sentence. They're not jokes. It's sad. It's sad. Yes, it's turning a group of people into characters, which is not a good thing to do. And whatever. It's a joke. The white guy show winning the girl show. You know, I agree with you, Ultras. I agree with you. It's less about being a show about geek culture and more about the white guy that feels like he doesn't get a break getting the girl at the end, and which is a very played out and old story at this point. Community is the best example. I think when it comes to geek shows, Community is where the fuck it was at. Community got it. It got it. because it's not about, geeks aren't just about, the socially percepted geek. It's just everyone's a little bit of a geek, and I think that show did a great job of highlighting that. And the writers were obviously having so much fun exploring all those things. It was amazing. Okay. Crocodile Dundee and Australians. Yeah. Oh, that's a knife. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to. Angeles, I had to. Rick and Morty's pretty good too. I mean, it's the same creators, same writers. It's all pretty. I disagree with you, Hunter. I think it's always been a piece of shit. 10 movies with beautiful cinematography I should watch. Ooh, D&D Maniac. All right, let's get into it. Okay. Okay, so... Ooh. Okay, well, anything Christopher Doyle shot is on my list. Anything that Christopher Doyle shot's on my list. So, Chungking Express, 2046, In the Mood for Love. Those three, the cinematography in those, every fucking time I get lost. There's confidence in those shots that makes me just... I've ranted about this shit before on this. There's confidence in those shots that just blows my mind. Absolutely. I'm going to put them in different categories because I think there's good cinematography examples in lots of different categories. When it comes to like CG and stuff, then I think Life of Pi is actually like really fucking good. Like the cinematography and that's amazing. The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford is one of my favorites. Lawrence of Arabia with cinematography is absolutely one of my favorites. Oh, I love this question. It really get my brain thinking. Really get my brain thinking. This is a tough one. It's making me rack my brain a little bit. Like, what would I recommend in the different genres of film, or like, let me think. Let me try to recommend like an action movie. Let me try to think like, what's one of my favorite shot action movies? Think, Zach. Think. I don't want to just default to Christopher Doyle again and say hero because I feel like that's a cop out. I feel like I've got to come up with a better Ex Machina was interesting, Megaloblazemon, but I wouldn't call it like one of my favorites with the cinematography. They did some cool things. See, visual cinematography, I don't think The Cell is something I would consider cinematography. I consider that like production design and really good effects and things like that. There was some good cinematography in it, but like... visual imagery. Fuck. I gotta... Action, I know, because I've watched a lot of action movies. I'm like, oh shit. The Fall's pretty good. Nah, I wouldn't say shoot 'em up either. Damn. What is it? Ooh, okay, Mad Max for action. Yeah, cinematography in Mad Max, fucking phenomenal. The cinematography in Mad Max is masterful. Yes, I would say Mad Max on that for sure. Professional, I wouldn't say. I think professional is more like all of it coming together, directing and everything else. Yeah, Mad Max cinematography is nuts. Mr. Alejandro's anything. There's so many classic films that I'd recommend, but it's just gonna be whatever. I love this question. Now I'm just gonna go home and I'm gonna look at my Blu-ray collection and I'm gonna go, oh, I should have said that. I should have said that. Damn it. Oh, it's tough. I'm out of practice. I should know these things just right off the top of my fucking head. Blue Velvet still goes down as one of my favorite films, cinematography and writing. But again, I know that's just like a culmination of all those things coming together to create one moment that's really masterful. Just like with Her, like it was the production design that made the cinematography look amazing. Fuck, man. I mean, I almost always go back to like, Children of Men's great. Actually, yeah, Children of Men. Children of fucking Men. You know, I'd even put Gravity up there too. The cinematography work is just, it's insane. He's an amazing cinematographer. See, Oldboy for me is more about the direction. Park Chan-wook is all about the direction for me, not the cinematography. Yeah. Dark City is an amazing movie too. It's so good. If you think of one that really needs to be said, we do have Cineverse. That's right, we do have a show where we discuss movies all day. Yeah, there's so many good ones. This is tough. I mean, my default, the stuff that's like really in my heart, is I always end up going back to Christopher Doyle. Like, he's the one that speaks the closest to me. Christopher Doyle is the one that sees things the way I want to see them. So like I almost always go back, like that's my biggest influence. And Roger Deakins, like Roger Deakins, you know, the assassination of Jesse James, most of his Western stuff in general. Roger Deakins, like, so I feel like with, like, that's the thing, it's like they're both two opposite extremes, but two that I feel the most connected with. Like when it comes to Christopher Doyle, his use of color and his use of like finding the way to direct your focus through the frame, not through lighting, but just through the frame itself and movement, I'm going for Christopher Doyle. And for lighting and using the light to tell the story, it's Roger Deakins for me. Two very different directors, or cinematographers that I feel the most connected to. I mean, Star Wars does count, especially Empire Strikes Back for sure counts as a good visual action film. I mean, the cinematography in Empire is great. It's great, great, great. Cinema Paradiso is such a good movie. Such a good movie. I liked the Ghost in the Shell trailer, and I know I was teasing Cineverse guy. I told Lucas, like, make him talk about it, because I liked it. It's whatever. I liked it. Conrad Hall? Conrad Hall's great. I just know the people that like really get to me. Spaghetti Westerns? I like Spaghetti Westerns. I was raised on Spaghetti Westerns, so I really like them. I like them a lot. I mean, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is just... That's some good... Okay, that's some amazing cinematography, but it's also more about the editing. Like in that one, it's like, that's an editor's movie. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is an editor's fucking movie. The movie was edited masterfully. I feel like I've seen Buckaroo Banzai. That name sounds so familiar. I probably have. I've watched so many. I really love the cinematography in Diabolique. A lot. Yeah. But yeah, it's hard for me. Like, once my brain starts thinking about Christopher Doyle shots, I get stuck on them. I just get stuck on them. The color, the movement, oof, gets me every time. Every fucking time. Oh yeah, Bully's a fucked up movie, man. Bully's super fucked up. It's a true story too. That's what makes it even more fucked up. Have I watched Robot Jocks? I've not watched Robot Jocks. Guys, you're making me just want to go home and watch a bunch of movies. And then I probably won't stream tomorrow because I'll be super tired. The Forbidden Zone. Yeah, seen that one. Again, Lord of the Rings is a hard one for me to consider like a cinematography movie. Favorite Bond and Bond movie? Oh, well, my favorite Bond is Daniel Craig, and my favorite Bond movie is Casino Royale. Fuck all the haters, man. That movie's got some good cinematography. Actually, that's an action film with some amazing fucking cinematography. Casino Royale has some beautiful choreographed shots in that movie. So good. Yeah, Old Boy is one of my all-time favorite movies. Park Chan-wook's one of my favorite directors, and Malika's really mad at me because I haven't gone to see The Handmaiden with her yet, and I really want to see it. I have not seen a single Star Trek movie. Not one. Not one. Dude, I just want to go back and watch that black and white scene in Casino Royale, though. Or that chase at the beginning, that on-foot chase. So fucking good. So good. So good. Yep, that's the one. Zexus, that's the one. The one where he's tricked into having sex with his daughter. Speed's not bad, it holds up okay. Okay. Alright guys, well I do have a dog to take care of and a significant other that deserves my attention. For sure. So let's do a raid. Let's pass this raid on. If you guys have been following from a raid to here, stick around, go raid with us to the next cool person. Let's keep this shit going. But I'll be here tomorrow doing a live reading of a script. I'm playing games with the community. We'll have some fun. We're gonna call it Pity's Giving because everybody went out of town and I'm still here. So it'll be a good time. It'll probably be a lot like this. But even stupider. Alright, sorry guys, I'm just pulling up the app here. Lord Soska, thank you for that follow. Very much appreciated. Thank you for that. And for those that don't know, like I said, we do all sorts of crazy stuff on this channel. Hey, Talking Dog, thank you for that follow. Very much appreciated. Like I said, we do all sorts of crazy stuff here. Usually it's very large RPGs. Thank you, Mr. Al, for that. I'm the CEO of the channel. This is one of my brainchilds, and I'm really proud of what we've been able to create here. And we do crazy content all week long. This week's kind of a weird week because of the holiday. Usually we would have really unique indie RPG freeform show tomorrow night called Weekly Affirmations. And also a really stupid and silly off-the-trail show with 2 comedians. And then Friday night we have our Battletech show. And we're not doing those this week because of the holiday. So it's kind of a weird week. Alright. Dude, let's go to Golden Corral for Thanksgiving tomorrow. Alright. Getting into the song now. Oh, Glitch Pop. Shit, though. You know, I know you guys are all like, yo, all these other people are streaming and stuff, but I got some of my favorites, you know. And Margaret Crone's live right now, and Margaret's one of my favorite people. She's awesome. She's an amazing streamer. So we're gonna raid Margaret Crone. I think Margaret's an awesome person. Looks like she's currently playing Sims, and I just opened up just a girl in a black underwear walking around. Freaking weird. Taking a bath. All right, cool. All right, guys, we're going to raid Margaret Crone. She's an awesome streamer. I have lots of respect for her. Thank you for the raid command ready, Parvicet Potens. So, are you guys ready? You ready to do this raid? Ready to do this shit? I gotta get ready to post this shit. So we can get it to it. Alright, non-subs! Stick around! Go watch Margaret Crone, she's really awesome. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for all the non-subs that were talking in the chat room, asking questions. I'd love to keep these conversations going. We do Honesty Hour every Wednesday night. We talk about all sorts of crazy shit, but I'm on the channel all sorts of the time. But not as much as usual because I am the CEO of the channel, so I got a lot to do in the back end. But we have all sorts of crazy content here. You guys should definitely... Oh, you're not so good though, but thanks anyway. Oh, thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to talk and hang out.
Sosaka.
Less than 3.
Sosaka? No problem, Snow. Thank you for that. Sosaka? Fuck, I'm dyslexic and I apologize. Lord Sosaka. Sosaka? Lord Sosaka? Is that what it is? Alright, Crazy Barks, thank you for that. Alright, you guys ready? You ready to do this raid? You ready? Bah! I hate doing this on the phone every fucking week. I'm like, I gotta stop doing that. Okay. I think I spelled it all right. Okay. Good night, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good Thanksgiving. If you're on the East Coast and all that shit, you're gonna be getting up early and hanging out with the family. Godspeed, and I'm sorry that you have to spend family time and all that stuff. Let's do this. Go! Raid! Go have fun. Make new friends. Go do it. Get out of here. Get out. The fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out.